This is Sky Blues Extra.
Hello and welcome to the first ever Sky Blues Extra Watchalong.
Sky Robbie!
It's probably one that's been a long time coming, I guess, Dean, but we're not sure how this is going to work entirely. But we think we're going to be about 3 or 4 seconds behind Even I Follow, which is probably going to be a couple of seconds, obviously, behind the actual live game, if not 10. But so I'm sure there'll be Twitter feeds that are updated well before we know.
Yeah, what we don't want is people going goal, goal in the comments, because we can see the comments and then like we're anticipating a goal going in. We want natural reaction. That's what we want. So please, if you score, don't say it.
Obviously, as usual, we've got Dean. How was your Christmas, Dean? All good?
Yeah, all good, Dave. Quiet, obviously, tier 4 and all that. But yeah, fine. You know, it is what it is. Disappointing we couldn't go Boxing Day, because obviously that's a sort of a stalwart of any Christmas celebration, isn't it? Going to the football on Boxing Day.
Like you've got some new goods, Dean.
Yeah, so I've got the home kit, and I've got a new scarf. I've also got a mug, which might make an appearance at half time with a bovril in, and a pie maybe. But yeah, well, decent enough. I was hoping for the third kit, but I kind of think my mum and dad might have got me that. So I'll see that once I eventually get to go back home to Cov.
Brilliant. And also we've got Ross. How are you, Ross? You okay?
I'm alright, Dave. How was your Christmas?
Very good. And
yeah.
Ross also sporting the kit that we thought the Sky Blues would line up in today, but weirdly seemed to be in the Sky Blue shorts. So similarly in the home kit from what we've seen so far, which I'm not quite sure what Millwall are wearing, but they usually wear dark blue, so it's already feels like a bit of a clash, but interesting enough. So what do we think of the starting lineup, chaps? I think you've got it, Dean, there. I'll get you to bring it on screen.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find my mouse. There it is. There you go. Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised at Alan being dropped, if I'm honest, and Shipley being brought in. I think Alan's been pretty lively in the last 2 matches he's played. The only thing or possible thinking that Matt Robbins has got is that he might be a little bit tired. He hasn't played a lot over the last 2 months, I would say. So 3 games in a week might be too much of him. But Shipley's been brought in that position. It's a big game this for Jordan Shipley. I feel his performances haven't been good this season, and it's time he needs to step up to the plate. And I'm thinking that this game might be the perfect opportunity for him. If I'm honest. Millwall haven't played for a long time. They've got a lot of COVID cases in the camp. So they haven't trained either for 2 weeks, I've heard. So it might be the perfect opportunity for Jordan Shipley this game.
Yeah. Do you think the same, Ross? What's your thoughts on this lineup today?
I mean, Mark Robbins, he always makes like a change, doesn't he? 1 or 2 sort of surprises. I mean, I don't know. I feel like Shipley should be fresh. I mean, I agree with Dean. I think maybe Alan is just a bit tired, or maybe he thinks that he might be better sort of impact off the bench. But I mean, formation-wise, I mean, Dabo I thought was excellent against Preston.
Yeah.
So hopefully he just carries on in the same vein of form. I think it's a good team. It was a weird one, the Preston game. And I was speaking to a couple of my other friends who were commentary fans, and it was a weird one where it was like, we were all over him, weren't we, for so long, and you're sort of scratching your head as to why we lost the game. But I think this team has got enough to win the game. Hopefully we can just score some goals, though.
Yeah, no, exactly. And Matty Godden, I think he looks sharp, for the time that he's perhaps had out, and we'll see that hopefully today. But were you surprised that Mark Robbins, firstly you, Dean, has gone with the one man up front, or do you think away from home it was quite obvious that was going to happen? Yeah,
I think inevitably it was going to happen, and we need options off the bench as well to change these games. This Millwall team is going to get tired. A lack of match practice, a lack of match fitness. You do lose it over a 2-week period of not playing. It's inevitable. So going gung ho with 2 top straight away, I don't think was probably the right tactic for this game. Plus, I think the middle of the park in this match is going to be absolutely crucial. Now, they've got Williams and Woods anchoring their central midfield, 2 players who get very, very leggy. So it's going to be on the likes of Hamer and O'Hare rustle up some things in the middle of the park and get out those two, because they're going to get tired eventually. And I think we're forgetting that McCallum's coming to this match as well.
Yeah.
Instead of Giles, and I think that's a good move, because Romeo at right back isn't the greatest at defending. So McCallum should have some opportunities today to get at that guy and hopefully cause some issues.
And Ross, it looks like a bolstered bench for the Sky Blues. Doesn't look too different to obviously the one that we had in our recent fixture, but we know Mark Robins can use much more subs this season than he's ever been able to use. He's been making quite regularly, 60 minutes or so. He's been making substitutions on. Who can you see coming on if perhaps it's not going well today, and who would you like to see?
So I think Biamu is probably the obvious one in terms of as a striker. I think Plan B seems to be the two up top. I'm sort of always a bit disappointed that we've not played that team, which beat Rotherham. When we played two up top, and I know it was Tyler Walker and Biamu, but I thought we played so well that game, and since then I don't think we've ever started, with that sort of team. But I think Biamu is someone to come on. I would love to see number 17. Marcel Hilsner, because no one's asked the question.
No.
He's suddenly on the bench for this is his third game. Does this mean is he there to make up the numbers, or is he actually getting closer to being part of it? Because obviously Castaneer was taking up that spot on the bench, but no one seems to ask the question. Is he just to make up the numbers, or is he getting closer? Well, I don't know what you guys think.
I'll take it first. I think obviously he may well be nearest to getting ready and playing. We know he had that chest problem from when he first started, and we know he featured in pre-season. So I know he gave all of the players a run out, but you'd have to think that he's there for a reason. And as much as there is more numbers to make up, you'd like to think that if Castaneer's fully fit, as some of the other players, and he's left them out in favour of Hilsner now being on the bench, then you'd have to say that perhaps he fancies him. So let's hope,
I hope so. He was clearly signed. He was clearly signed as like a first team player, you'd like to think. So obviously, because if you said to Mark Robins in the summer, we're going to sign this guy and he's going to make 3 bench appearances by the new year, you wouldn't bother signing him, would you?
Well,
do you know what I mean? So you've got to hope that he was brought in to be a first team player, ideally. I don't know. What do you think, Dean?
Yeah, he's got to be thrown into the fold at some point, hasn't he? We haven't seen anything of him at all.
Nothing.
We don't know anything of this guy. We know he's got this thunderbolt of a left foot. We've seen him on YouTube. He's scored a couple of goals within the 23s, and at some point he's got to be thrown into the mix. Now, is today the day? Let's hope so, because it's a potentially exciting talent we've got on our hands, but we just don't know anything about this kid at all.
Exactly.
It could be like a new signing, couldn't it? Do you know?
Absolutely, it could galvanise everybody.
We need one, don't we? I suppose if there's ever a time, everyone's talking about January transfer market. I think post game we'll probably have a chat about that January transfer market, which is of course kicked off now. It'd be interesting to know what our followers think early on before the kick-off today. Let us know your thoughts on Mark Robins starting 11. Let us know who you would have liked to have seen perhaps in that starting lineup. We did see a lot on Twitter before the game kicked off today about perhaps having that 2 up top and having that BR move. So it's Mark Robins hasn't gone with that. He's obviously gone with a bit more of a solid, more defensive perhaps approach. But we've seen that a lot from him this season, Dean.
See, Glenn wants a Marcel left foot thunderbolt winner. So let's hope.
When someone describes their own left foot as a special left foot, you're expecting big things. I tried it out on FIFA. It's quite special, to be fair. He's got a good left foot on FIFA, so hopefully.
What's his stats on FIFA, Ross?
He was something like, I think
60s.
he was overall 65, and I feel like his pace is it's not the best. He gets caught up a little bit on FIFA, but I did score a couple of good goals with him. From distance, with his left foot. So maybe he's telling the truth. Maybe it is special.
A way to spend Christmas, when the fixtures aren't on, is on FIFA with.
On FIFA, Football Manager as well.
Specials.
I got Football Manager, so I'm going to try and see if I can get more out of him than Mark Robins has so far this season. We'll see what happens.
This is interesting from Glenn about Millwall's starting lineup. I suspect they're playing with Budvarsson up front on his own, with 3 players in behind. And then Williams and Woods will probably anchor the midfield. But it is surprising because they've got 3 kind of recognised strikers in that team. But I wouldn't suggest they're playing completely free up front now.
What do you think about the the fact that they've had a break, Ross, with Millwall? We don't know. Presumably, the players that have not got COVID have been obviously training. You'd imagine so. I know there's been rumours that they've not been training, but I can't imagine for a moment they've not been doing anything. But bit of lack of match practice. Do you think that could come into the fold today?
It's a hard one to know, to be honest. I mean, you'd like to think so from our point of view, but I guess you could look at it 2 ways. You could look at it and think maybe match sharpness isn't there, but maybe energy levels wise they might be a bit fresher. Having not played. I don't know. It's a tough one. I mean, I just hope that.
Wow! Look at white and blue, white top, blue shorts.
There we go. So it's the third kit. So Ross had 3 to choose from, and he went.
Why are they playing with blue shorts?
I went for
Yeah,
completely
sky
the
blue
wrong choice. But here they come. The Sky Blue boys.
That's how that pitch doesn't look great, does it?
Well, I mean, it's
Got to be better than Tranmere last year, I
Yeah,
suppose.
we've seen worse. I think we struggled a little bit at Preston actually with the pitch, and Mark Robbins did allude to that in his comments after the game, didn't he?
Yeah, I don't think many pitches across the country are looking great so far. The weather is obviously taking an effect as well. So there's that Millwall lineup. I mean, they've got some decent options off the bench. Troy Parrott was, he was
brought in as one that you thought was going to be, setting the world alight a little bit. He's on loan from Spurs, is that correct?
He is, and you got Zahore there as well, who was one of those guys who had a positive COVID test. So he's obviously made his way back into the fold. I mean, that's how I think they'll line up. As well, with that 3 in behind, but Varson up front.
And here's the Sky Blues lineup. Obviously, Carl McFadzean leading the line today. Hyam, who's I think's been exceptional so far this season, really seems like he's really stepped up into the Championship. And like you said earlier on, Ross and Dean, a big chance for Shipley from a starting
big chance.
position.
I think he needs a good performance today. I really do. I think what was the last start he had? Was that against Wickham?
Yeah, I mean, it does. It feels some time ago now, but
I think he needs a good performance. I think for him, not just us as a team. I think for his confidence. I think if he can play well, start well, we know he's capable of it. He just, I think he just needs to get back on form.
Yeah. No, exactly.
So just to let everybody know, what we'll do is we'll do some time checks during the game. So if you want to try and get in sync with us, you just need to pause your iFollow stream because you'll probably be about 10 seconds ahead on that. And then we'll give out the time of the game. So for instance, like 10:01, 10:02, 10:03, and then you can sync back in with us. See, they're still not taking the knee, the Millwall players, I noticed.
No, I think it's a very interesting approach, isn't it? There was a lot made of when Millwall
come on, City.
Back, but here we go. The boys are off, and it's going to be a tough fixture, I think, today, Dean. It's one that I think a lot of our fans feel like we probably should go and win, but.
Definitely, they're there for the taking today.
Yeah. We need a win.
Yeah, huge. I mean, 3 points is going to be absolutely crucial here if we can muster them up.
Can't have been a better time to play.
That's a nice play there. There we go. Here's McCallum's first chance at getting at Romeo here. There you go. Good ball. Go on.
But that's positive already, isn't it?
Yeah, and look, just
McCallum has shown exactly why he's come back into the team there, Ross. He's obviously, I think he's a big favourite of Mark Robbins.
Well, he's a fullback, isn't he? He's a fullback turned wingback, and Giles is a winger turned wingback. So I feel like I think he offers Mark Robbins that balance that he wants, in terms of attacking and defensively.
Yeah,
I've turned your mic up, Dave, so you should be a bit better now.
Oh, okay. It's only because I'm laid back, chilled in the seat watching, but it's a fixture really that I think, like you say, Millwall. There's no better time, is there, to play Millwall really when they've had 2 weeks off, and we already look like we're confident, we're fizzing the ball around.
Yeah, they're a big side as well, Dave. I think that's something we need to take into account here. Yeah, they're a physical side. They're a big side. They're going to get at us. They're going to play a lot of sort of direct balls into Budvarsson and try for some knockoffs off him. And they're a well-oiled, experienced Championship side now. So we should be under no illusions the task is high today, but there's no reason why we can't match them.
Yeah, and now Millwall obviously having a bit of possession, and they seem to be keeping the ball a little bit better than they perhaps were in the first opening, minute or whatever, and we've sort of sat off of them a little bit now. But I think it's a really positive start from the Sky Blues. Cal O'Hare looks like he's running into channels. He's obviously, I think Dabo's already got quite far at the pitch, and McCallum with that cross, that was, we could see that happening a lot today, and that's what we need really to sort of pepper the box.
That's something Matty Godden's got to do a lot there today. Just pick up a little scrap and try and get a free kick here and there where we can. The more fouls that goes against Millwall, it will go against them in regards to yellow cards later on in the match. So that's something we've got to look at.
Yeah, no, exactly. Do let us know how you think we've settled into the game so far, Sky Blues fans. It's a fixture that feels perhaps bigger than it actually is, because of, one, the fact of Millwall coming back off a big break, and two, obviously we're trying and get some points on the road. Only really make a count of ourselves at Wycombe so far this season, but we do need to start putting the ball in the back of the net.
We'll get opportunities today. There's no doubt about that. But it's a case. I mean, we talk about that. We've got opportunities in our previous matches. We just haven't taken them, and that's part and parcel of what's gone. I wouldn't say what's gone wrong this season, but probably what hasn't worked as well as previous seasons. We just haven't taken our chances when we've got them.
We've made our mistakes away from home this season, haven't we? You can think of all the away games. Forest away, we should have won that game, shouldn't we? Watford, we threw away points. So I feel like it's not that our away performances have necessarily been bad, like you say, Dean. We've created chances, haven't we, on several occasions this season. It's just lapses in concentration, and Preston was probably literally the epitome of that.
You look back at the games like Watford, Forest away, Middlesbrough, Preston even in the week, they're games we potentially could have at least got 1 point from. I really feel like we should be at least 4 points better off this season.
That's not great. In the middle of the park there, we look a little bit panicky, and we've been giving it away a little bit too much for my liking in the middle of the park already. You only got to give teams a bit of a sniff in the Championship to let them get on top of you, haven't you? And then they will start to...
we seem to give teams encouragement, and it's...
It's like Wycombe have just scored as well.
Have they?
Wycombe 1-0 up at Middlesbrough.
That's not great, is it?
Ikpezu with a goal on 3 minutes. And for you Premiership fans, Crystal Palace 1, Sheffield United 0, Schlupp in the 4th minute. It's like Soccer Saturday in my screen here.
It's just a really bad version of it.
I've got stats. I've got score centre going. It's wild here. There you go, Dabo, a bit of space now. Lovely ball.
Oof, yeah, and that's it. It's nice to see more people getting in the box, isn't it? That's what we've got to do. We still only got 2 man forward there, but we do need to get players into the box. It always seems that it's only Godden we've got to aim at.
All the time. It frustrates the hell out of me, that we put these balls in, and I don't know how we're expecting to score goals, do you know what I mean, with so few people in the box. That
was really good by Matty Godden there. He peeled off that first defender, got towards the front post, and it gave Shipley some space to move into. And there's that Wycombe goal now. But yeah, it gives Shipley space to move into. It just brings other players out of play, so there's time and space then.
Yeah.
I feel like Godden should probably be doing better there with that header though.
Yeah, no. We look solid enough though. I think it's a good strong start. 5 minutes in, we've gave Millwall a little bit of possession in the middle of the park. We've been a little bit sloppy, but that ball that hit, I think it was Sheaf, was it, on the back on his back. But other than that, positive going
that ain't
forward.
Good. That ain't good.
No, that's not good news. We'll hope that is not a reoccurrence of perhaps a former injury here, because
he literally looks sat down in exactly the same way as he did against Forest.
And the way he nodded over to the benches to say, "Yep, same thing."
not like Matty Godden to stay down, really.
Because it was the bottom of his foot. As he look at his point, that's what the injury was, wasn't it? It was the bottom of his foot or something. Then.
Yeah, this could be a bit of a problem.
It's time for Marcel Hilsner to come on. Here we go.
Wow.
Come on.
It's
Up top.
Yeah, up top, mate.
It looks like, I don't know. Looks like he's
That doesn't look good, if I'm honest.
no
And how long is
Walker.
out for? Yeah.
Well, we think Walker's injury is a bit more longer than perhaps first thought. I don't think it was 3 months. I may be talking rubbish there. It might be was it 6 weeks or something?
6 weeks, I think he said. Yeah.
What is that about? Throwing the ball out as well. What a knob. There's no need for that. Just horrible. Honestly, I don't like Millwall. They're horrible, and that is just. Well, that's Matty Godden in some sprints there.
It looks like Godden's just trying to limber up and see whether he can carry on, doesn't it? He's just giving it a check, but he doesn't.
He looks in pain. He looks in pain.
Doesn't look happy, does he? At all?
No, he doesn't. And
this is going to be a big blow for the Sky Blues. Not only having to make a change so early on, but to lose Godden now at this stage of the season, it just goes to show, doesn't it, the squad depth. Godden and now Walker perhaps out. If that does carry on,
we've had bad luck, haven't we? We've not had we have had some bad luck with injuries.
Terrible! Yeah, of course.
Who do you put on, Biamu or Baka? That's one.
I think he'll go Biamu myself.
He will go Biamu.
Yeah.
I agree. And there's Papaga there as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
Wow, go out there, son, and make a name for yourself, son.
Like Goal, the movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, with a trip to Real Madrid at the end of it.
Yeah. No, but I just think it's a real shame as well for Godden if it is a bad injury for his season, because it's been very stop-start for him, hasn't it? And it's just not. It's a shame because he's looked really sharp in the Championship. I think if you looked at players, I don't know how you guys feel, if you looked at players that have perhaps shown more than we may have expected in the Championship, you'd have to say Carl McFadzean would be one of them, but you'd say Godden would also be one of those players. So it would be a big shame, Ross.
Oh, no. And to be without Kelly as well. I mean, it's just, it is a shame. It would be a shame.
Nigel's saying here, if he's niggled it, would you leave him on and risk it, or play safe and swap him out?
I just don't think you can. I don't think we're
not in a position to do that, are we?
We're not in a position to be doing that, no.
With the squad depth as well.
But he's still on, isn't he? I haven't.
Yeah.
It just kind of disheartens you a little bit, doesn't it? When you those things seem to be happening week on week, as well.
It's difficult. Ben Wilson's done really well there. He's been really strong and big.
They are dirty. They are dirty.
That's all they are. That's what I said at the start of the season in our preview. This is one of the games where there's going to be a lot of tension with their players, because they'll just leave legs in.
They do the dark arts.
But I think the Championship's been a big wake up call for us coming from a league. League One. You thought that would be very, very much a bit more Sunday league than the Championship. But there's been really so many clever fouls on the Sky Blues. So
I think
far
that's it, David. Clever. I think League One is. I think on the face of it is more sort of lump it up, physical.
Yeah.
But what these Championship teams have done against us, Bournemouth did it against us. Pretty much every team, like you said, clever. They're smarter. It's the stuff you don't see. They do those little.
We've started to do that more, haven't we? We've started
a little bit more,
be a bit better at that.
We were a bit too nice, I felt.
Yeah.
For a long period.
Nice and naive at times, I think, the Sky Blues. But if they can stay up this season and consolidate that position, it's gonna for players like Gus Hamer, that have of course come from overseas, getting to grips with English football. Perhaps a bit of a run for even for Walker to get in the team and be be around that squad for a whole season is going to stand them in good stead, isn't it? It takes a bit of time for teams to bed in, and I think we did make a lot of transfers this season, really.
I don't think enough's made of the experience
Yeah.
aspect of things, because we come into this season with 3 players with more than 10 appearances in the Championship to their name.
Yeah.
This is a difficult league at the best of times, and we didn't sign players that had a lot of Championship experience, other than Walker to an extent. But that you're always going to be behind on the 8 ball in regards to experience, and if we can consolidate this year, we gain so much from just staying in the division, and hopefully that will stand us in good stead.
Look, everybody at the start of the season would have took 21st, wouldn't they? If
Well,
you
this
were
is
off
the
the 21st.
thing, isn't it? This is the thing, but it soon. Look, we all know, me included, football fans are extremely fickle, and you start to assess the games actually on their games, don't you? Whereas at the start of the season, you can't do that. You don't have that hindsight, I suppose, and you think, well, we'll just do anything to stay up. But then you look at the results, like you mentioned earlier about Forest. You look at how we give away penalties, red cards that were a bit silly, and you think actually they were games we could have got a lot more from. And that's what I think the Sky Blues fans are probably feeling, is that they felt that we perhaps have dropped points and performances haven't been perhaps where they wanted to be at times.
He's done it again. Adam Armstrong, 1-0. Blackburn beating Birmingham, which is a good result for us.
Yeah, and I think Godden's coming off.
He's done.
here,
He's
lads.
done.
Yeah, he's going to come off here. He just turned to chase the ball, didn't he? And he's the tape's off, and that's it. That's the end of Matty Godden's game against Millwall, unfortunately, and now it's a big decision, isn't it, for Mark Robins? Does he go with a bit of height and perhaps strength and in Bakayoko? Does he go with someone that's probably proven himself to be
He's
okay
fuming,
in the
isn't he?
Championship?
He's absolutely fuming.
Yeah, of course. He knows, doesn't he, that's could be another spell on the sidelines. I presume we haven't actually made the change.
No, not yet. No.
That's interesting. Who do you think's going to come on then, chaps?
I want Biamu to come on.
Yeah,
If
it's
it
got
was
to be
me,
Biamu, isn't it?
It's got to be Max.
I think it's going to be a bit more of a physical battle up the top end. There are a few big lads at the back.
He played a stone's throw away from where I'm sat right now. Sutton United, National League, and he's now walking again onto a Championship pitch. It's a fantastic story, isn't it, of professional football?
Yeah, and it doesn't happen that often, does it?
No.
I thought you were going to say, Dave, that you played up top with him.
No, only in my dreams, Dean.
Yeah, I can imagine. Let's do a quick time check for anybody who wants to be in sync. So that's 14-16, 14-17, 14-18, 14-19, 14-20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25.
Well, I'm 1 second behind you there, Dean, but I'm sure it's not
Yeah,
the
I'm
end
the
of
same,
world.
Dave. I'm with you.
Guys, you got to stop living in the past.
Yeah, it's 2021 now.
What
Ross.
snacks have you got, by the way? What
Yeah,
snacks have you got?
I'm thinking I might have to dash at half time, but
I got myself some knickknacks.
fair.
Oh wow.
That's great. Yeah, it's just come up to confirm that. That's really a nice noise, that, Dean. That's
Cheers.
it's like the old work Zoom calls again. You're not on mute. Oh, it's a big shame. Big shame that obviously Godden's obviously come off now, and it's just another frustration part of his season, isn't it? Stop-start, and he's not really had a chance to get going. He of course went on that run, didn't he, where he did net a few goals, and it's just a real shame, Ross.
Oh, yeah. I feel really sorry for him. I think you can tell, can't you? You can see he's frustrated, and I mean, yeah, you mentioned it even before that about in terms of reinforcements and stuff, and that we'll talk about that more post game, but. I mean, it sort of just reinforces that point, doesn't it? That can we have Biamu and Bakayoko up front for the rest of the season?
Absolutely not.
I agree.
It sort of plays your hand for you, doesn't it? They've got to go out into the transfer market. They've got to do something.
Yeah, it's
Because
a very tough one though, because it's only loans and frees, isn't it?
If it has to be a loan,
to aim at.
If it has to be a loan, it has to be. It is what it is, and that's the situation we're in at the moment.
Where do we sit at the moment in terms of loans? Because you can only... It still rules around how many you can field.
Isn't it 4 in a match day squad?
A man that's been playing lots of Football Manager.
Oh mate, well I think it's either 4 or 5 in a match day squad, so you can have more. Because I remember there was that season under Mowbray, we had to leave some of our loan players out of the squad in total, because obviously we had Murphy, Kent, Armstrong, all of them, all those loan players.
Yeah.
So, and there was one season, and then the following year when we went down, we also had a plethora of loan players.
We've only got 3, right? We've only got 3: Ostergaard, Giles, Sheaf,
yeah, and McCallum.
Yeah. So 4, and all 4 of them are in the starting lineup.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, Giles, not Giles.
Well, I mean, he's in and around it, isn't he? But yeah, I agree. It's only going to be a loan or a free agent, isn't it? And that is a big problem now with Mark Robins. But he does say he wants to bring, players in. So does that mean that any loan players will be allowed to go back? Can you see McCallum being recalled at all?
There's talk about it, wasn't there?
I was certain that he would be. Of course, there's still the
just
rest
to
of
break off there, chaps. It's just another one, isn't it, that we've seen so many times this season. Cal O'Hare just brought down, on the halfway line. How many times, he's got to be the most foul player in the Championship.
He is, yeah.
Isn't he?
He is.
Yeah,
but it really does break down momentum, doesn't it?
And like I say, all these other teams do that to us, and we just let people scamper past us. We don't do that. I don't see us doing that enough. They've done it on O'Hare every game. He must get fouled a dozen times. It's crazy.
Yeah, and Sky Blues fans, do share with your comments. Do let us know what you think of the match so far. It would be interesting to think, what your thoughts are on the fixture already. It's been a bit of a game of just cat and mouse. Nothing's really happened apart from obviously a huge blow for the Sky Blues, which is Matty Godden coming off. Looks like a reoccurrence perhaps of that injury that he had not so long ago, but a real shame. But Biamu on and do let us know in the comments your thoughts.
But that's interesting about Dan Crowley. Obviously ex-Arsenal, Coventry kid as well.
Yes.
So that's interesting. He's a very attack-minded player in the centre of midfield. So that's Dabo's in here.
Dabo's just done.
Oh, unlucky.
Yeah, I've got a thing with Dabo is that his final ball hasn't been quite where it has since last season, but I suppose that's the step up, is it?
Yeah, and to an extent the forward-thinking players are not in the perfect position for him. I think our movement in and around the box isn't great.
No, it's not.
No, we could fill the box more, couldn't we?
Go on,
that's a great reverse
we're
ball.
in again, yeah. We're in
Go
again,
on.
and this is...
There we go. Go on! Ah! Yes!
Oh, yeah!
Wow! He should have buried that. Jordan Shipley should have buried that.
Yeah.
He should have. But it doesn't matter. The Sky Blues are 1-0 up at the Den. It's absolutely amazing. With the blow of Godden coming off, and now the Sky Blues have gone 1-0 ahead. It's been a bit of a scrappy game, hasn't it?
A great reverse knock from Dabo there.
Well, a great block to start off with, wasn't it? And
Dabo was listening to Dave Moore about the step up, and he decided he'd play that reverse pass. And I think is because you were a second ahead, Dean. All I could hear was like, what is going on?
Yeah, Dean is a little bit ahead.
Sorry, I'll pause for 1 second then.
No, don't. We'll try and go up with you, I think.
It's funny how we like our first goal in however many games is an own goal.
I know, yeah.
So to be fair, I've been a bit harsh on Jordan Shipley. I think he's hit that pretty well.
Yeah, he's done everything that you would want someone to do in that position. He's gone across the keeper, isn't he? Keeper's rooted, and he's only been denied by the post. And he's also peeled off and got in a really good position where actually this season we've not been getting up to support the strikers, have we? You go back to games when you've had Allen and perhaps even Cal O'Hare have not been supporting the strikers as much. So it's a real credit there to Jordan Shipley, Ross.
Oh yeah, great credit. He's in the right position, isn't it? That is what we want. And we were just talking about it a few minutes ago. about the lack of support sometimes we've had from crosses and from attacks. And yeah, no, fair play to him. He did everything right, actually. He was unlucky, and we've scored. That's the main thing. I'm buzzing.
Just echoing Dean's thoughts there as well. It is
That was Ross said that, not me.
Ross, sorry, but it is so Coventry. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it comes off a shoulder, a backside. It is 1-0 to the Sky Blues on the road, away at Millwall, in the Den. And actually now, we've started to settle down. We've got the ball, keeping it, and that's what we need to do, don't we? We need to make them chase the game.
For God's sake!
It's another
That is
tackle
ridiculous.
That has been
It's a slide tackle from behind, and it I can't.
Regardless
believe
if he gets the ball or not, the rule is if you try and endanger an opponent from behind, it's a free kick. So this is an important point by Reese. Everything positive is through Dabo and O'Hare. And we saw so much last year.
Looks so good, doesn't it?
It's so much last season as well. Them two linking up really, really well. I mean, O'Hare linked up really well with both McCallum and Dabo last year. But yes, a shining light so far in the first 22 minutes of this game is their link up. So hopefully they can do it a little bit more.
Yeah, no, exactly. And actually, although McCallum hasn't had the opportunity that perhaps Dabo has, I think that the wings look definitely the way to beat Millwall here today. It looks like we've got a lot more width. They seem to be playing quite narrow, don't they?
Which I think is definitely playing into the hands of, Dabo and I think it's.
We do look to have a lot more space, don't we?
Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
It's things like that really annoy me,
They put the
Yeah,
pressure
no
on,
need for
don't
that.
they? Those are the types of balls. When you play a ball from the middle of the park, you've got control of possession, and you play it out for opponent throwing.
Look at the Preston goal. The Preston goal. The first goal was a joke. Like, they were sat back. We were all over them, and then you pile the pressure on yourself. How many times this season have we done that? And it's honestly infuriating, because if you get beat by like a worldie or some unbelievable play, you have to accept it. But when you've got the ball, like you say, Dave, and you've got it under control, no real pressure, and you just pass it out of play, it's those little things which must irritate Mark Robbins as well.
Yeah, of course. I'm sure it does irritate the coaching staff. They'll be really trying to get the squad to keep the ball here as well. Just take that pressure off. Not almost slow the game down, but make Millwall work for it now. That's what you need to do, because we invite so much pressure, I think, on ourselves at times that we need to try and just keep that ball and take the pressure off.
And
we're doing it again, aren't we?
What would we got to think? What would Millwall and these other teams? What do these other teams do when they take the lead against us?
Play around the back.
But they if they need to go, they don't give us a sniff. Like now. I am more than happy with us trying to go long there, because that's a good pass.
Yeah,
but
and
you
McCallum again.
He's done amazing.
He has definitely got the beating of the right back. The right back, Dean, is.
Yeah, he's not particularly good defensively, Romeo, for Millwall, and we highlighted the importance of Dabo and O'Hare. Already they've had 37 touches out of our 115.
And McCallum now already got acres of space on the left. They look really narrow to me, and this looks like it's really playing into Sky Blues' hands.
Oh, great!
That's a lovely bit of football. That's a trip. That's got to be a free kick.
We'll take that. Yeah, we'll take that all day. Yeah, I just looking at the heat maps. I'm obsessed with heat maps, and Dabo's is pretty much 80% in the opposing half.
That's a good decision from the
say.
referee. That was a good decision, because I think he could have easily not.
Who's going to be taking this free kick, do you think, chaps? Hamer?
Shipley's got a decent shot on him, hasn't he? He scored a fair few free kicks from this kind of range. I remember that rocket he scored.
Yeah, but this is the thing.
Burst onto the scene.
We have players who score one free kick.
It wasn't Luton, was it?
Luton.
Southend? Can't think of the.
I remember last.
Going way back now, me. Straight at the
great
wall.
knock. Yes! Get in there! What a
2-0
strike that
to
is!
Sky Blues. Gustavo Hamer.
Gustavo.
What a strike!
A really poor free kick straight at the ball, but it's come out and he's hit it. And we saw it the other day, didn't we? He hit one from 25 yards. But what a strike. Keeper, no chance, rooted. And it's Coventry City 2, Millwall 0. And you'd have to say, chaps...
Or deflection, though.
You'd have to say, if we lose this from here now, it would be a really, really disappointing performance, wouldn't it? Because we've
Mate, we have to win the
ourselves-
game. We have to win the game. I think a draw would be. We need to win the game.
They don't look up for it at all.
No,
they're not at the races.
No. And now 2-0 in their own backyard, shell-shocked. There's a lot of pressure on Millwall this season. A lot of pressure on the manager this season. Of course, they finished, don't forget, was it 8th last year? They were only points away from the playoffs. They actually had a last run at it, and without a few results that didn't go their way, they could have been banged there in the playoffs.
Well,
and now they just look they look a completely different side, don't they?
Before the start of the season, people were, proper banking them to be a playoff team, and obviously things can change quickly in the Championship. But I mean, I was reading there on the Twitter, some of their fans were saying that if they lose today and get, they could, he might need to go, the manager, Gary Rowett.
Here we go.
Go on.
Oh, great save!
Oh,
Really
that is a
good save.
great save.
But we're running riot here.
Oh,
again, and it's got memoirs of your memory lane, Ross, written all over it.
Hey, I told like we
Oh,
said,
yeah,
it's
decent
all,
enough, yeah.
It's all about the. You know what? I think the keeper makes a bit of a meal of that. Like, it looks like he's almost got a bit.
Gustavo Hamer, Coventry's 30.
Hey, do you know what I love? Is he our top scorer now?
He probably is,
He
actually,
said,
yeah.
I laughed my head off when he said, "Don't expect many goals from me," and he's our top scorer. He signed.
It's
and
probably
said-
because he thought he was going to be playing right back or something. But yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
a
good knock back in.
superb start, and
You couldn't have asked for anything more than this, by the way.
exactly.
That first sort of 18 minutes, it was neither here or there, was it, from both teams?
Nothing
But
to really talk
we've
about.
sort of piled on a little bit more pressure. We've noticed that they're playing through the middle a lot. Pretty much the majority of their
very
players
narrow,
going
very narrow.
through the middle of the park. So let's utilise two of our main threats in McCallum and Dabo, and both of them so far have started this game on fire. And it's going to be interesting to see if they can continue in that fashion. But let's hope so, because they're here for the taking, Millwall. And another thing we haven't spoke about is if we beat these today, we go above them in the table.
Of course.
So
Well,
Yeah,
exactly,
huge.
yeah, we will go above them, and we know they've got games in hand, but they don't want to be losing around the teams that they are around. So it's a really big game, and now like we said, it would be really disappointing if we were to drop points here. But there's still a long way to
We
go.
need to
in
get
this
another
game.
goal. I remember there was I think it was that Memory
Poor.
Lane game against Blackburn. Dave, you said about the 5-0. And Ron Atkinson said, well, it got to 5. I thought that if we defend like we normally do, we might just get a point here. And it's
Yeah.
that sort of thing. You still feel like that as a Coventry fan,
Yeah, I completely agree. Sky Blues fans that are joined in with our first ever watch along, do let us know in the comments what you think of those 2 goals so far, what you think of the Sky Blues performance. We'd love to know and love to share your comments and thoughts on the live stream. But the Sky Blues have started really, really well here. Half an hour just about to come up now on the clock, and it's just been 20 minutes of pretty much nothingness, like Dean said, but fantastic. 2-0. And Dabo having the time of his life down on the right hand side.
and just say I've just watched back the free kick incident there. Brilliant play. The 1-2 with Shipley is beautiful, but it's the forward run. It's the intent of the run. Getting forward into those spaces, those little pockets of spaces, and it's brought about a free kick. And we scored from it. You can't ask for much more than that.
No, exactly. I think a lot of Sky Blues fans before this fixture were saying we need to shoot more, we need to get up and support the lone strikers much more. But they've definitely done that in parts today, haven't they? And they've looked like they've gone up more as a team, especially down the right hand side, like you said, Dean, with O'Hare and Dabo.
Middlesbrough just equalised versus Wickham 2. Brown with the goal on the 30th minute. So another bit of good news for the Sky Blues. It's kind of going our way so far. Let's just fingers crossed it continues that way.
Yeah, it's it really is a huge 3 points in a team that we didn't expect to be around by us this season, perhaps, but all terms and purposes will be, Ross.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think the thing is, if we just keep winning our games, like every so often, pick up 3 points, then I think we'll be absolutely, then we'll be fine. It was just sort of how many games was it where we didn't score? Was it 4 games without a goal?
Something like that, yeah.
And it's one of those things where you just want to get that thing out of your system. You know,
Brilliant
so
play.
Come on.
That's what I've found a lot this year so far with O'Hare's is his end product
Ball's
hasn't been
not
great.
there, is it? No.
Yeah. Once
You kind of feel like does he try and do a little bit too much?
I mean, the thing is in League One thing that I said, I came away from, I think it was the Tranmere game when Matty Godden scored, and if O'Hare didn't release that ball at exactly that time, then, you know, Godden perhaps would have been more one-on-one with the keeper, but he actually took the goalkeeper out of that by releasing, and the defender by releasing that ball so late, and I think his awareness last season for balls like that, nothing was done by accident. Another great link-up play. This time was Gus Hamer, O'Hare, and Dabo again down that right-hand side. They look really strong, don't they?
Yeah.
They're there for the taking here.
Well, it's a game that you need a performance from because it's going to give them such a boost, isn't it? Playing like this now, you know, running riot almost is going to be a massive confidence booster for our next fixture. And who do we play next? We go to
Norwich in the cup next.
In the cup, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, I should do better there. That's
Ben Sheep.
That's a free header, effectively.
Oh, well, yeah.
It was a free header, centre of the goal.
Mistimes his jump.
Does mistime his jump a little bit.
He might have been penalised though from that push if it had gone anywhere near the goal.
Yeah, it's just one of those fixtures that now it's a bit of a waiting game with the Sky Blues sometimes, isn't it?
This could be a cricket.
Really
that's disgusting, by the way. Oh my god.
Well, I don't know if it was a bit of both of our lads going for the same ball there. But he looks okay, to be honest.
Yeah, he'll be fine. Yeah, he'll run that off. Bit of the magic sponge.
Yeah.
Back of the head. And here we go. Here's that goal again. Fantastic strike. Little deflection off there.
Yeah, did get a deflection
off the big man there, but you know, well, that's a bit of luck that hasn't gone our way.
We've
so far.
We've had.
We'll take
look,
that.
Sorry, Dean. Yeah, that's not gone our way, and we've needed. Like we've been owed some luck, I think, this season. You know.
Who's impressed you, Ross? First 30 minutes
of the game. Well, I think Dabo again. I think he's just such a good athlete. You know, I think he gets up and down the pitch. He's strong. He's sort of dynamic. I mean, yeah, I'd have to say Dabo, but I think honestly, I think we played really well.
Especially the last 15. You know, last 10, 15, we've really sort of come into it, Dean.
Yeah, and he kind of needed someone just to take control of the match a little bit. You know, and we've done that to an extent. You know, it's all looking rosy at the moment. I don't have too many complaints. You know, there's not many times
it's a strange
we're 2-0
position. Let's get some thoughts from our followers just while we've got this break. Although it looks like Hamer's about to perhaps get up, and we know that others may be a little bit ahead of us perhaps. But do let us know in the comments who's been your star man in a Sky Blues shirt in the first 35 minutes, and it's been great to see perhaps Shipley. You know, he's stepped up. He's already looking a bit of a menace already, and it much improved from perhaps his previous performances.
But both Kyle and Gordon are saying 4-0, so let's hope that it is the case, and it'll do a world of good for the goal difference as well. That's going to be vital towards the end of the year. You can already see the bottom of the league getting a little bit more bunched up now. Goal difference is going to come into play, so if we can take a step in the right direction there, that'd be nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't foul.
We all agree here with Ben. You know, Dabo is absolutely quality. He has been already so far. This is an interesting one. Just why the game has taken a bit of a pause, I guess, is looking ahead, which is a strange thing to do, perhaps. But looking ahead, Castor and Hilsner for the cup game. I mean, makes complete sense, doesn't it?
I want to be seeing Castaneer. Yeah, give him just say, you go out there, son, and
do what you want.
You slide tackle some people, do whatever you want, mate, and then You know what? Next week, I don't think Robbins will be overly bothered about it. You know, had we got someone like a lower league team or
Perhaps
you know,
he'd have gone for it money-wise, yeah.
But I think we all know what the bread and butter is. I'd play Castanet. I'd definitely play Hilsner. Like I definitely would, because I think it's a chance. It's a free game. We've not had the Papa John's Trophy or whatever it's called now to give these fringe players a game. So I definitely would. I'd play Hilsner. I'd give Bapaga a start.
Same.
Yeah. I'd probably start Bakayoko and play Hilsner and Bapaga off him. Yeah, I would. And then I'd make changes.
Can you see
DaCosta?
Big one.
Yeah.
Maybe Jordan Thompson, centre half. Give him a go.
Maybe Mark Robbins up front as well.
Eddie Vivash holding the midfield.
Yeah, holding it up.
Yeah.
Can we get Oggy back? Is he available?
Well, we'll get the goalkeeper.
We'll
get Alid in.
They're not allowed in the stadium, so you may as well get Oggy back in the fold.
Where do you think Clive would play? What do you think his position is?
Left back in the changing room.
Yeah, play. He'll be put on the Cov team sheet, but end up at Tranmere's ground or something like that, wouldn't he?
He'd end up in Ipswich. I knew I was in the north. I thought we were in Suffolk.
East Anglia somewhere.
Yeah.
But no, I definitely think that you're right, Ross. Next week against Norwich, we should be, giving some of those fringe players a bit of a run out, because I don't think we're gonna, we're not gonna repeat 1987. So it would be.
Wow, big turnaround there, Wickham. Fantastic. That's great play. That's brilliant play.
Huge.
Go on in. Out wide.
Oh, it's just a little bit behind him.
Needed a bit more direct, didn't it?
Yeah, it was just a little bit.
It weren't in front of him enough.
No.
Yeah, if it'd been in front of him, I think he runs on and it hits that first time.
So that's brilliant play, and it's
who played that ball through to Dabo then?
O'Hare, I think.
Sheaf to O'Hare, wasn't it? And then
no ref.
But that's brilliant play, and that's what this team is capable of, and that all came from 4 Millwall players too far ahead of the play.
Yeah.
We break up that possession, and we just attack at numbers, and that's where we'll get some good stuff going.
We've played like this though, in large spells before Preston took the lead, in other games this season, and we've not. It's been that final pass, hasn't it? It's been that final moment that has sort of let us down. Well played.
Yeah, really well played.
Touch there,
I feel like this is a game where we're in control. I don't feel nervous.
That was a great interception there. Who is that? Hyam? Can't see.
Sheaf.
I mean, great interception there. Brilliant. I'm doing a Clive now, but
join us live on the Watchalong where Clive will be in the studio.
But it's. I think Sheaf's had a solid game so far.
Yeah, just that one misplaced pass, wasn't it? That went out for throwing. Other than that, he's looked fine. And to an extent, I get the criticism of Ben Sheaf. I do, but there's a player there as well.
Of course, yeah.
I think that's the frustration.
I think people have asked me in the past what raw attributes, but I think it's plain to see what raw attributes are. Is that his game awareness is strong, but he's not the quickest to get there. Don't get me wrong. I think he'd say that, but for me, his first time passing and stuff is really good.
And it will come with experience as well. The more games you play in the Championship, the more you learn.
Exactly, yeah.
But he's one of a host of players in this commentary team that's learning their trade this year.
They just can't get any time, can they? The Sky Blues are just closing down. That's what they did so well in League One, wasn't it, Ross? Where they closed down. No one got a minute's piece, did they, with the Sky Blues? I remember Allen and O'Hare chasing the ball.
We'd always win the ball back, wouldn't we? And we'd be able to sustain attacks. And I feel like this season we've not done that. I feel like we've stood off teams. We've almost given two teams too much respect, almost maybe out of fear of getting caught. And then ultimately the increased quality of giving these teams time.
Today we look like we're really closing Millwall down. They don't seem to have any opportunity.
No, we look like we've got energy. And exactly like you said, Dave, last year we never gave teams a moment's peace. So we'd win it back and then we'd be ready to go again. And I feel like that's where O'Hare is so crucial. I remember, for example, the Sunderland goal when we beat Sunderland 1-0, Matty Godden.
Yeah.
Again, that was a prime example of forcing them into a
Press.
mistake,
Yeah.
winning the second ball.
Yeah.
Allen then played the nice ball through and Godden scored. So, yeah, we're playing very well. We just, I just like a third, you know.
Oh, brilliant again. Wow,
Brilliant,
that's great.
I
Go
should
on.
forget. Oh, that's brilliant. O'Hare's done really well there.
Oh,
It's a good,
oh, you went
good
all
save.
you went all FIFA commentary there, Dave. He's doing really well there.
Oh, you got to wait for the high wide and not at all Hansen to come out later
I
on.
was gonna say, where's the sheepskin coat and the big mic? He's doing really well.
But no, that's again, Sheaf's broke the play down in the middle part, which we've heard time and time again that he doesn't do enough. But he's done that. He's broke the play down. He's played it into O'Hare. Good awareness to follow his pass, carry on, and he's just outside the boot.
It's not the person you wanted to have the final shot, was it?
No.
I guess?
Oh, that's unlucky as well.
No,
That's
perhaps
our
not.
ball.
I thought O'Hare was going to take it on, actually, Ross.
Oh, mate, I thought
I thought
O'Hare
he'd take
opened
on a
up.
shot.
I thought the Sheaf run would have been a disguise run, you know, and then he'd have just. He was in a very similar position to the goal he scored against Southend last year, you know, sort of edge of the box, inside the box, right foot. Where we're causing them problems. I think they're hoping to get to half time just at 2-0.
Well, yeah, they're on the ropes, aren't they? So they're waiting for that final bell. He really needs to get them in the changing rooms and get their mind on it, because they're just not. They're going long at times. They just don't look comfortable at all, do they?
No, they don't. Not at all. I think we're.
But let's not take away the credit, Dean, from the Sky Blues. High press, moving the ball really, really well. Solid defensively already so far.
Yeah.
Wilson's commanded his box well when he's had to.
Doesn't have much to do.
No, he's not had much to do.
He's probably kicking the mud around.
Yeah, I mean, importantly, we've won that middle of the park battle, haven't we? And we've
Yeah,
kept
I think
it well in that middle of the park.
We've learnt where their weakness is, and that is
The wings.
in ball retention and on the wings, and we're just utilising our high press really well, using Dabo and McCallum incredibly well. So much so, I think, to be fair, it's probably both of them's best performance so far this year. It's more akin to what we know of them from last year. You know, bombing down the wing, they're both very, very skillful players. They've got pace all day. You know, stuff like that.
Biamu's done so well. Biamu, though, he's done so well since
He
going
has.
on.
Dabo there, by the way, brilliant. One
He's not
touch
done so
out of
well
his
there.
foot.
Unfortunately, he should have gone down the line there. I know he's been brought down. There's a possibility it should have been a free kick, but I think he should have reversed past straight down the line there once he cut inside. But great hold-up play by Biamu, and he's shown that a lot this season, Ross.
Oh, Dabo, yeah, no. I think he's... I feel like what we're doing is we're keeping the ball up. Do you know what I mean? How many times this season has the ball sort of just bounced? You know, we've lost the ball. We've not been able to sort of keep it. And I feel like we've got a real sort of through line from midfield to attack today, haven't we?
We're really getting those triangles working much more.
I remember
that's something that we were famous for last season, and it does seem today that we've got those triangles working in the middle of the park.
Oh, absolutely. And that's again, it's what we did so well last year. You always just knew you had Kelly and Walsh, wasn't it, last year, sat there, and you knew the pattern of play that we were going to do, and we were so effective at it. And oh, come on,
Here we go.
They just,
Oh, great knock. Oh,
I mean,
I tell you what, we're finding little pockets of space everywhere
Yeah.
on this pitch. It's beautiful to see.
I think they're having a real torrid time. I mean, look at this. Look here. They've given it terrible touch by the number 3 there, giving it away cheaply. It's actually a little bit like what we've done at times this season, giving the ball away in the wrong areas. And Millwall really are inviting a lot of pressure onto themselves, aren't they? They're trying to play.
Let them. You know, we'll you know, we're taking advantage of those spaces. It's great to see, actually. You know, for once we seem to be on the front foot.
It's not just that, Dean, but I think a good performance.
Oh!
Oh! It's just.
Oh, you see the bar? That could have gone
it's
anywhere.
just- every time it goes up that end of the pitch, it looks like the.
Was that
Sky Blues are
Was
gonna
that Cooper
score.
again? That could have been 2 own goals. He
So
could have done
obvious.
He could have done a Dabo. Oh, what a finish that would have been.
Yeah, it was actually really, I mean, I don't know what he's doing there, to be honest.
No.
It's like a glancing header towards goal.
So he kind of ducks as well, and he still manages to head it. It's very odd. Great knock this as well.
Yeah.
Hammers looks so good today. He's finding those little pockets of space, and he's just making things tick, isn't he? You know, the conductor in the middle of the field, beautiful.
Yeah, and I've got to say that those chaps in the middle of the park, that was that. Trying to think, that was Shipley there. You know, O'Hare, Sheaf, they've all looked really, really confident on the ball today, and that's, I think, given us a chance to play our football a lot more than perhaps we have so far this season. 4 minutes on the old additional board there, but we're still, well, it could be 3-0 before the end of the half.
Yeah,
I hope not, because I've just finished out my stats.
Well, I'll take a third, Dino, mate. I'd take a third. You redo your stats, mate. I want a third, mate. I want a third.
But no, this is it's a fantastic performance from the Sky Blues. Millwall haven't got a minute's peace, have they, Ross? And it's just that high press is causing them all sorts of issues.
And we're believing in ourselves, the high press, and like we're having confidence on the ball, and like we're believing in our ability to pass it. Like first half against Stoke, I thought we played really well, and we didn't keep it going. But this half, we've found the end product. We've created numerous opportunities. No one can complain with the scoreline from a Millwall point of view.
No,
you
could have been more.
I think it should be 4.
It should be now.
4.
Yeah, without a doubt. We're
talking clear opportunities here. Like, Sheaf could have had a hat trick.
That'd have shut the haters up.
Ben Sheaf, I know, mate. It really, you can't really fault our performance. I feel like by our normal standards, I mean, obviously as commentary fans, you're always sort of on edge, but I feel like we've not given them any encouragement.
No, so true here from Nige as well. It is. I mean, what this performance will do is hopefully give the confidence that they need to show they can go out and play this sort of football. And actually, next week is a week off. Rest some players. We don't need to be winning that. Have that rest period and go again. We've got a really, really big month, and I'm sure Dean will remember.
Absolutely
the
brilliant by O'Hare.
Yeah, great closing down, and it's brought the foul, and that's what we need to do. And we're not, we've been standing off teams a lot this season, I think, and times like that we may not have won something there.
Listen, I'm looking at the passing stats here. 61% for Millwall, Coventry 78%, and that shows the difference. They're just not at the races at all.
No,
great half.
A superb half.
Also, guys, did you see Brighton and Kabari?
Went to
signed for the
Bengal.
He signed for the biggest club in India. He said.
Yeah.
It did make me laugh. I did have a chuckle when I saw it. I thought,
Yeah, it's a shame, really. I think to see Bright, not playing his football, perhaps in some of the better English leagues, or he's got the ability, hasn't he? But we've heard so many times that is sort of, if his attitude was perhaps better off the pitch, then he may well have still been playing for the Sky Blues, and may well have been involved in this 2-0 thriller at the Den today. But let's go to some comments. Let's find out from everyone what you thought of that half, of course. Sky Blues are leading Millwall away from home 2-0, an own goal, and then a goal from Hamer, although it got a nice deflection on the way through. But it's a comment here. O'Hare have been absolutely superb in driving us on. Sheaf protect us really well, and Dabo McCann bombing on. What a half. Yeah, I think that sums it up pretty well, Ross.
Oh, no, yeah, perfect. Absolutely, what a half indeed. You couldn't have asked for it to be any better, really. Fantastic from the Sky Blues, and we wouldn't have wanted the first half to end. They'll be buzzing. I think Millwall to only be 2 down. I think they'll be they'll be delighted.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. Let's get some comments then, Dean, from some of our followers on Twitter, obviously live on YouTube as well.
O'Hare and Hammer, superb, yep. O'Hare's been reading Twitter all week, doing everything he can to get... Yeah, it's that weird guy, isn't there? I don't know what that guy's problem. He just absolutely hammers O'Hare every single week. He could say the same to everybody in the attacking third that they haven't been getting assists. It is what it is. He's showing his how much of a class act he is today.
Yeah, but do you know what he does though that I think is class about him is, yes, sometimes his final ball isn't there, but this is the way I always think about it is, if his final ball was there, he wouldn't be here. And I said it in League One about players. And the thing that he does do, which I think is vital for where we're at as a team in the Championship, is his work rate off the ball is second to none.
Yeah,
it's absolutely it's incredible, and and he does contribute to the Robins ticker-tacker as well. So
yeah, Daniel there, Robins ticker-tacker in full force. Everyone's played well there from Ryan. I have to agree. That it is ticker-tacker. We found it so many times last season where we were able to control games, play football, play triangles, and we've done that today. And it's really heaping a lot of pressure on Millwall. Jamie's saying we're playing class there. Have to agree with them. I mean, those comments I have to agree with. Can you see now, Millwall, what changes can you see coming from them? Because they, interesting the way that they've lined up. There's talk, I think I saw that they had 3 strikers in there, but it looked like they're only playing with 1 most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, Bradshaw and Bennett to an extent are strikers, but they're so bunched together, and you can tell they're strikers in an unorthodox position because they're so bunched with Budvarsson. They're getting absolutely nowhere in the middle of the park, so things have to change. I think Smith's on the bench for them, so that's potentially something that they'll do is they'll bring him on.
Comment here from Jack. Who
and
needs
just throw
top Robins knows best?
He does, but it makes me laugh. The amount of people, on Twitter or whatever it might be, and it's like you think that that these people know better than Mark Robins. 2 promotions, 3 years. He knows what he's doing. But and you got to throw into that, he's been dealt the blow of Matty Godden going off injured as well. That happened so early on. It's easy to forget. It's almost
been forgotten. Like you say, easy to forget. But and credit to Biamu, he's come on and he's held the ball up really, really well, Dean.
Yeah, he's doing really well. He's doing everything that's needed. He's linking up play with O'Hare really well, and Shipley to an extent. Shipley's moving, further up the pitch, which we've all thought is his best position. So things are looking rosy. I don't think we can have too many complaints today.
No. How much room and time are we getting here? It's like a League One game. Well, that's what we've mentioned about. We've been able to control, and I think Dean's probably working on the stats. Although I've got them
They're done.
Oh, they're done. Okay, fair enough. They're just coming up on iFollow as well. So now there's going to be the discretion between 50. Yeah, there's a bit of discretion.
I'm going by Sky Sports and who scored.
But obviously other platforms available.
Look at that,
for
key
stats.
passes. Key passes on iFollow. 7-0.
Well, look at this. 0 attempts, 0 on target for them.
The other one I really liked actually was tackles won percentage. We have 88% of our tackles we've made, we've won it.
And 5 interceptions as well.
Yeah.
That's been key. I mean, you look at O'Hare has been, nicking the ball a lot.
And Sheaf has made, we've seen that last section of the game, we saw at least, two decent interceptions from Sheaf, which led to counter-attacks and breakaways. Millwall are going to struggle to score if they don't have shots on target.
Yeah, well, they're going to struggle to score if they don't have any attempts at all. Never mind being on target.
Without quoting dodgeball, but they've not had they've not been anywhere near Ben Wilson's goal.
Yeah, I reckon you could Ben Wilson's kit. You could put that straight in the bag and it'd be available for next week. Doesn't need to be washed. His gloves not dirty at all. Boots won't need to be cleaned. Whoever cleans Ben Wilson's boots this week has got an easy job.
Yeah, exactly. Nige, as always, I think making sensible comments. Championship games are won and lost in midfield. Absolutely correct. We absolutely lack when we go two up top. There is at times more direct play, but in games where we control, this system works very well for us. There's definitely times to go two up top, but we saw last season we played so well, didn't we, with that that sort of was it this triangle, the diamond. Sort of structure that he went with. He had Allen and O'Hare in that pocket, Kelly of course, and Walsh at times, and that worked really, really well. And I think what Nigel is saying there is key, is that there's some games where we probably should have gone two up top, but there's games like this where there's obviously apparently so much space and the players have got so much time that it seems better suited to us.
Yeah, and it's a point we brought up so much during the first half of the season. How many games have we been overrun in midfield? And that's where the majority games are won in this league. There's no question about that.
Yeah.
And if we
Scott's got the bar snacks.
got an extra man chance.
On a Hyam goal. The bar snacks. If
Can
scores,
you send me some knickknacks?
I mean, I agree, but I think I remember early on in the season. I remember we played Middlesbrough, which I thought was like the worst performance I've seen from us this season. And we played this same formation, but I think I agree with the comment about the midfield, but I think the wing backs are massive. I felt like early on in the season we had no outlet, so we would go in from the base of the box midfield to the attacking midfielders. They weren't supporting Godden enough, and we didn't have the wing backs as outlets. So then we almost had nowhere to go, and we'd end up Dabo and McCallum, especially Dabo, even a bit more so. I think they're crucial. If the wing backs are out of the game, I think this formation lacks. But I feel like the wing backs are massive. And also, Dave, if you think last season when we were controlling games, and I always go back to Southend away at the end of the season, we played this formation. It was 0-0, and then he went to the plan B, the two up top, and then we won the game. Yeah. I always feel like if you were in control of the game, then the two up top works. Like against Rotherham, we were dominating the game. I feel like if we're the sort of inferior team, if you like, in a game, then I think we can get overrun in midfield. So I do agree with the comment there. But I think wing backs are massive.
This does feel like a League One game, massively in control. It's not a League One game. Coventry City are now playing their fixtures in the Championship, and it probably is a bit of a shock to people that we're bossing a game. But let's not forget, we showed for at least 15 minutes against Watford, who are all terms and purposes going to be up there in the top 6 spot, that we played them off the park, albeit for 15 minutes. There's been times this season where we've really shown some teams, haven't we? We've been some really spirited performances, Dean.
Yeah, I mean, I can only, off the top of my head, think of 2 or 3 performances this season where I don't think we've been at the races. The other ones with, we just showed a lack of naivety, a lack of experience at times to get any points away from those. But I have 0 complaints so far today. And what Ross was saying about the wing backs, we have underutilised them this year, and today we haven't. And look at the 2 lowest rated players on the pitch, Wallace and Romeo, both rated at 5.2 and 5.7 respectively. And where do they play? Left and right back for Millwall. That's because they're getting time and time again, they're getting exposed by Dabo and McCallum, who are playing absolutely brilliantly. And we just need to keep hammering them, don't we? Just keep hammering that away. And we'll inevitably score more.
What a touch that was by Cooper. What a touch.
He should have been booked as well for the kick out of Morosi earlier on.
Wilson,
sorry, yeah. Just so used to Marco and goal, sorry.
But what...
it's the way he tries to clear it and it's his left foot and he just shanks it into the back of the net.
Yeah, I think he was resigned to think. But a great touch by Shipley. Good, you can have no doubts really or no questions about his technique there. He's took a touch. He's had a great shot.
And do you know what? He's wheeled away, ready to get the aeroplane back out as well, hasn't he? He thinks that's in.
The second now just going in. Gus Hamer.
Great technique on that volley as well, half volley. It's really, really
what
well struck.
What I love about Hamer, when he shoots, and he did it a few against Preston, he gets his shots on target. That's what he very rarely balloons it. You know,
he's got a great technique.
He's
as well,
got a
isn't
real
he?
good technique.
You don't really see him balloon things that
no,
often.
even and the ones which aren't on target are very like the one against Huddersfield. You know, that breakaway, and it was narrowly over the bar. You know, but I think he's been incredible.
That's all right. Dean's just
Sorry,
giving
I
us
was just.
He's watching the SkyBlues Extra Live on his phone.
Yeah,
just to see what
I
it,
just
you
want to see what it looks like now. I just got sent a video. But
Well,
yeah.
that was another effort from Heyman, wasn't it? Again, on target, hits it well.
Nige again, said it before, we're only a player or two away from a solid championship side. We haven't looked out of place. I don't think teams enjoy playing us. They have to work really hard to beat us. I absolutely agree. I think our football is so much more suited to this level than it perhaps was League One, even though we railroaded the league. And I know it sounds a bit of a daft comment to make, but I think that, you know, we're more in at home at the Championship. I just think that we've been naive at times this season.
Yeah, the style of play does suit the Championship, no doubt about it. You know, normally to get out of League One, it's pretty hustle and bustle. You know, big men. You know, you power your way out.
Yeah.
And we're, you know, one of very few sides I can think of in modern history that have played their way out of that league. Potentially Leeds and Bournemouth.
Well, Sheffield
probably
and-
only two. Sheffield United maybe as well.
Got a question for you two. Someone's messaged me on Twitter saying, if we're 2-0 up with 10 minutes to go, would you bring on number 17, Marcel Hilsner?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah? 2-0
Get him
bring-
on.
Dave, are you bringing him on for his
No.
special left? No?
No.
You're not?
No. I to be honest, I think my opinion about Hilsner is I'm not sure Mark Robbins is. I don't think he thinks what he got what he was perhaps in
Promised.
the market for or promised.
Dodgy car
in
deal.
my opinion.
Was it Boise who tried to sell him the player?
Well, you know, I don't want to. I don't think. For me, when Bapaga came on the last game spoke volumes in that perhaps,
probably.
you know, if it comes to it, is he the man that he's looking to? So that to me spoke volumes. But you know, I'd love to see a signing, you know, that we've made in the summer come out and prove. I just felt the Rangers game, I know it was a pre-season and it was only, you know, minutes that he had. Was it 40 minutes, 45 minutes he had on the pitch?
Yeah,
we changed the whole team at half-time, didn't we? So I just thought that he looked... obviously, we knew about the chest complaint, and there was times where I think he looked like he was, you know, behind the pace of play. But I thought positionally he looked... but that may be settling into the English game, of course. You know, he's played the equivalent of, you know, probably League One in Germany, isn't he? It's not going to be a fantastic standard. But I just think when I looked and watched, I felt that positionally he was a little bit out of place at times. But maybe he just needs to learn, you know.
Here we go, a couple of changes for
spend some
Millwall.
time. Yeah, we expected Millwall to obviously ring the changes, didn't we? And it's Troy
Parrott, yeah.
Troy Parrott coming on.
He's highly rated, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. I mean, my close friend who's a Millwall fan said that, you know, when he signed, that was it. They thought, but he hasn't actually been in contention. You know, they looked back towards Jed Wallace, didn't they? Who's of course been a regular there in recent seasons. But they did think he was going to be the man to sort of, you know, spark them and steam them up.
I'm also very surprised they haven't brought Matt Smith on there as
a lot
well,
of
because
people.
Budvarsson hasn't really done anything at the top end of the pitch, and Matt Smith, you know, really
Should we get a
experienced
time
player.
check as soon as we get on this, Dean?
Yep, here we go. 45, 03, 04, 05,
Yeah, so you're still
06, 07,
ahead
08, 09, 10.
fine.
How far
You're
am I
ahead
ahead of you?
A second.
Okay, I can just pause mine for a second.
But it's, yeah, let's hope that the Sky Blues can see this out, really, because it's a massive 3 points on the road, and they've been a bit few and far between.
Let's just hope it's not an anxious 45 minutes, you know. I think we
Just
need
get
to
a
show...
third.
Yeah, we need to show a bit of intent
yeah.
straight off the bat here, because, you know, if we get a third, it puts this game to bed. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, but it's not going to be gung-ho. I mean, Millwall
It's unlucky there.
Just,
That is unlucky.
they look shot to pieces, don't they? They look so void of any confidence. It's crazy. They're giving the ball away in the middle of the park there. I mean, imagine our Twitter now if we were putting in a performance like Millwall.
Oh, it'd be
against a team around us.
Oh.
They've lost it again there.
At the post. They hit the post.
Yeah, or the bar, or even the bar.
Hell of a
behind.
strike.
Unreal strike.
Here we go. This is the angle, isn't it?
Oh,
It did hit the post.
no way, man.
Wow.
Yeah, a great strike, and again, great to see Jordan Shipley having a fantastic performance so far.
And do you know why, Dave? He's up the top end of the pitch
Playing at
in
that
his
advanced role
in his position that he is used to playing, and that we've got some really, really top performances out of him. Okay, at a League 1, League 2 level, but if you don't give the lad a bit of experience in this division, then he's never going to learn.
No, and that's it. I mean, you've got to remember where the players like Hyam, Shipley, Rose, where they've played. I know Rose came to us the season before, but Shipley's been with us throughout the leagues, and to be able to do that as a footballer, is incredible. To keep making that jump and keep impressing the manager enough to be holding on to a position, in now a team that is 2 leagues above where he started is nothing short of phenomenal.
Absolutely.
And he continues to sort of prove people wrong, doesn't he? When we went up to League 1, everyone thought, League 2's his level sort of thing, and every time he does have bad performances, but I feel like, I don't know, Robin's got a good way of sort of getting the best out of him. Well, ref.
Oh, come on. Again, brilliant by O'Hare.
He's got to be booked.
Has he given
Cooper.
that?
It's got to be gone. Get him off the field, referee. Get him off the field.
Has he been booked, has he?
No, he should have been booked for that kick out.
He should be booked.
He should have been
should be booked for that
goal. He should have been booked for that clearance.
So Millwall have slightly changed things here. You can see they've gone to sort of a flat front three rather than the one up top on his own, which again will they've obviously got to come out for this game, haven't they? But that will give us so many more opportunities, and I'd be very surprised if we don't carve out a number of opportunities in this second half.
I want a Max Biamu
exactly.
goal.
We're just waiting for this free kick to be taken, so we'll just break off there, although we know some people may be a little bit further ahead than others.
I'll tell you what.
It's another shot by Shipley.
He fancies it, doesn't he? He fancies it.
He's loading up, and it's another corner, and we're again piling the pressure on and hunting down that third goal, Ross.
Oh, it's great. No, it's great. We've come out of the traps, haven't we?
Yeah, flying.
I mean, that's goal-bound shot. That is a...
Handball.
And this is exactly how we wanted to start the second half. I feel like in these sort of 2-0, there's that old saying, it's a dangerous scoreline. But we've come out and we're the team, we're the aggressors again. And despite the changes, we're on top still, which is
what you want to see.
Exactly.
We'll just break here because Hamer is crossing in for the corner.
And again,
we've so great in the air as he has been all season. And that's crazy.
We've got a connection on that corner as well. We potential second chance appearing, and that's something.
Millwall have had more shots at their own goal than they have.
Yeah, that is true. Russ is asking me to get the Watsits open. I've got no Watsits, Russ, today. I'll have to have a look in the snack bag.
What is your favourite? What is your favourite crisp?
Oh,
Pickled onion Munster Munch.
Yeah, they are good. Aren't they?
Dave knows. Dave, that was straight out.
Yeah.
Flame. I think I'm
that
going
is
for
my mastermind topic. If I ever had to go on it, crisps. So
is it?
No. But to be
I
fair,
believe that. Then.
But to be fair, any meal deal, pickled onion Munster Munch.
No, you got to go for the high value items, Dave.
McCoy's,
yeah.
Yeah.
You got to go for a ridge steak crisp,
Steak.
and a Tropicana or something like that. One of the smoothies, because they're £2.95 on their own, and the meal deal's only $3.50. You basically get a sandwich and crisp for 50p.
That's why you go for a smoothie. You get the
exactly.
hat as well.
Yeah.
Just
a hat.
break off. Yeah. Do you not remember when Innocent did those little bubble hats?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, they did this some PR stunt.
Here we go.
Which was clearly lost on some.
Roast chicken walkers. Bombay mix. I haven't had any of those in years.
Oh, Bombay mix.
solid.
Yeah.
Doritos cheese.
Oh, I love it. I love the debate started.
Pickled onion monster munch with a
Prawn
pickled egg.
cocktail.
Hold on a minute. Nige, you need locking up, mate. Pickled onion monster munch with a pickled egg dropped in the pack. Oh my god.
The next one's equally as bad. Prawn
Get the
cocktail, shocking.
Ugh.
Oh, I like prawn cocktail walkers.
No.
Skips.
No.
Skips. Do you like skips?
Skips are nice, yeah. Something
Yeah,
of
skips are
peanuts.
alright, yeah.
Bob,
Do you like-
Bob's missing the Balti pies.
Do you like veg crisps? Veg.
Yeah, I've got a massive bag of them.
I knew,
Beautiful.
Dave. I knew you wouldn't like veg crisps.
No time for that. If I'm going to have veg, I'd have it, with my roast dinner.
Just have a roast turkey or a roast chicken and put some veg crisps on the side. Open a pack of veg crisps.
Right, Ian's saying, what's everyone's flavour for crisp sandwiches? Don't think you could beat a cheese and onion Walkers for them, can you?
No, I think that's solid. Plenty of butter. You can't.
That's a solid choice.
Millwall now playing it across their own box.
Hey, we'll take that
It's
all
absolutely
day.
nothing, by
all
the way.
day. Take that all day long.
It's just a big, long ball forward. They've found no one. Again, very narrow. Ben Wilson, bit of shithousery there. It's always nice to see.
I love Ben Wilson. I think he's done so well.
He's been brilliant, hasn't he? As biased as we can be on Sky Blues
Yeah.
Extra with, of course, its sponsors for this season.
Of course.
But
But genuinely, though, like, I'd have been lying if I said,
don't know if we'd mentioned it at all.
I wasn't. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a tad nervous. When it was like Morosi's going to be out for a while. To be honest, but he's done everything he's needed to do. Really.
And he just seems a very likeable chap in the
Yeah.
dressing room as well. I mean, you've listened back to his podcast with the Sky Blues Extra
Go on.
available now. He just seems a really, really top guy.
Really giving the ball away in such dangerous places, and we're pressing them so well. McCallum there again. Yeah, I agree with Nige. He's saying about the midfield. They're losing the ball too much in midfield. They made it really scrappy, and they're just not winning any of the battles at all. They look void of any confidence. It's I can see people calling for Rowett to go after this for Millwall, because he's been teetering on the edge for a while, but he pulled it out the fire because of that win, of course, against Bristol City. But this is going to pile the pressure back on the owners now to perhaps get rid. It's very, very, very poor performance. But also, we've got to give credit to Sky Blues, of course. You can only play against what's in front of you, and they're doing
Listen,
really well.
if Millwall play like this for the rest of the season, they are in deep trouble, and that brings another team into the mix at the bottom of the league, and that's what we need. We need more teams sort of being dragged into that relegation scrap.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's not forget, if they won this today and perhaps they're 2 games in hand, they could be looking around 10th or something, I think.
Which is just bonkers. The way, if you think
madness.
how they're playing and this line, oh my god, no way. If the ball is going to the right, there's no way.
No.
That's a penalty. It's
No.
just nonsense. Simple physics, Dave. Simple physics.
He's so good. He's so good.
Hammer is in. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so unlucky as well. Beautiful intent by Biame with the back heel.
Great play by Hamer again. He's just he never stops, does he? Never doesn't follow his run. He's
box to box, isn't he? In every.
Look at that, brilliant.
Brilliant, McCallum.
Oh, superb, yeah. And there you go. And that's what we're doing today. We're winning that midfield battle, and that's the key. And I know we've mentioned Nigel said it a lot. I completely agree with him. It's the game today has been won or lost in the middle of the park, and so far so good.
There's a chance for Millwall. Oh my god, that is awful.
Yeah,
Absolutely awful.
Let's just go through that, lads, because it's probably the first time in the game where we've looked very poor defensively.
loses a header and it loops up, and then he's first to react. He's got to be scoring there.
Yeah, without a doubt. That's a let-off. I feel Ostergaard's a little bit slow here to react, isn't he? Like he's sort of just watching what's happening.
Fads just seems to lose the flight of the ball. It sort of goes up. It's as if he thinks it's sort of going up, and it's
also knowing that he's that sweeper style player. You'd like to see the players getting behind him a lot quicker. If he's going to attack that ball, there's only 2 ways it can go. One up the pitch from Fads' head, or a flick on. And if it gets flicked on, there's no one there covering him. You'd like to see someone sweeping up behind him there, wouldn't you?
Yeah, there has to be cover, especially with 3 at the back. Someone should be coming in behind. But let's just keep the ball for a little bit. They've sort of got themselves back into it a little bit in this second half. Just keep the ball.
They have, but we just need to get our foot on the ball. We're doing it now, and that's it. We need to take that pressure off.
Great! No, oh my!
Should have done better. Should have done better.
If he's missed the ball again. He's missed the ball.
Oh.
Yeah. Let's have a look at this again. I think you lads have drifted further in front of me, but...
Are you on a dial-up connection, Dave?
Yeah. Yeah. I think, it's...
Listen, I think the defenders I think the defenders done pretty well there to put O'Hare off a tad, but he still should get some kind of connection on it. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's easy for the keeper there. We just can't let him back into this game, can we? You've got to keep that intensity. We're ticking over to 60 minutes in a minute, chaps, and he's still... I don't know how McCann's managed to win that whilst being sat down. Very impressive.
Oh,
well played.
yeah,
Look at this. The hustle was brilliant today.
It's from the striker,
fantastic.
from the top down.
Ethic, it is. That work ethic has just been fantastic.
Yeah. No, Biamu there. Do you know what I mean? And it's the work ethic from everybody.
He's got to have strayed offside there.
Brilliant there from O'Hare as well. Ball was away from him, but he still managed to get some kind of foot on the ball and deny Millwall from breaking out.
They don't look to have any options. Look at this now. Look, they've gone.
Just penning them in, Dave. It's pressure, and there's nothing more pressurising than a scoreboard of 2-0 being 2-0 down. So
at home.
We've done the majority of the work. We just need to see this game out, and opportunities will arise.
If all they're going to do is play long high balls like that, then we've got to be able to deal with that.
Yeah, we've got to. We had that little slip up there from McFadzean. That's a warning. Let's not let that happen. Again. But they don't seem to be on the same wavelength, and we seem to have a lot of time.
Hello.
Cheeky.
Oh, nearly. Offside. Would you make any subs here, boys?
Well, this is what I was going to come on to. I said we're just ticking on to 60. I can't see him making anything for at least 10 minutes.
No.
Especially given that Biamu's obviously already on in place of Godden. But what would you be doing here? Because, of course, you want to hunt for that third goal, but not at the sort of expense of conceding.
I wouldn't make too many drastic changes, if I'm honest. I think that's brilliant from Haber there. So composed, under a little bit of pressure. Brilliant from him, bringing the ball back to Wilson. The only thing I feel like you might need a few more legs in the middle of the park in about 10 minutes time. So maybe Alan will come on for Shipley and just leave O'Hare up with Biamu.
I agree. I think referee.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, it's really, really, really poor, isn't it? But
he's not near the ball in the.
No intent, is there?
There's no intent to win the ball.
No, but then again, I suppose if you're 2-0 down at home, frustration. Sometimes they do say kick someone,
but Dave, we get booked. We do that, and we get booked.
I'm fully expecting him to get booked. If you're saying he's not received a yellow card there, that is a strange one, really. We have seemed to be getting booked. You look at Hamer's shot, which was somehow a booking, which meant that he missed.
Oh my goodness, that was a joke. That was a joke. That was, yeah.
Just
what? Here we go. Oh, what a challenge that is.
Oh, it's a great block, isn't it? But
was that Sheaf?
I think it might have been Hyam.
Or Hyam. It was one of the two. They both look like each other, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
I've gone on Clive, Dave. I've gone on Clive.
Well, I think it was.
It happens
Hyam.
to the best of us, doesn't it?
It does.
You have to admit.
No, that wasn't as big a mistake. I thought you'd have been saying it was Dabo or
yeah. Yeah. Well, I haven't said that we're playing Dodic Afalesi yet, which is of course, Eddie.
I mean, give
But
Clive some
I remember-
credit. I don't think he's done that
No.
either.
No, but I remember that last game at Highfield Road, and Stern John scored, and he said, "I'm not sure whether it was Stern John or Andy Wing." And I just remember thinking, "What?" Like,
No, we are not letting them in, but we need to be a little bit, with the ball. We need to protect the ball. We can't invite too much pressure. There's still a long way to go in this game. Half an hour. It's a long, long time. We
Yeah,
need
it
to
is.
get a foot on the ball.
Yeah,
Maybe you're right.
Wallace was shown a yellow card. He was,
Good.
yeah. Just
Good.
seen it come up.
yeah, no, you're right, Dave. One goal
Changes it completely.
Changes it completely. Yeah.
Yeah. We've kind of been sat here, haven't they? So let's bring some comments in. Jamie would like to see Giles come on. I think McCallum's probably still full of running, but that's fair enough. Yeah, it's. Have we got any more comments about substitutions? Any substitutions, Sky Blues extra followers, do let us know if you'd make any changes and on what minute you'd make them. Perhaps we're just ticking over the 30-minute mark left now, and you can't see Robin's making too many changes, but yeah, do let us know what changes you'd make. Ross, you'd probably you'd bring someone in the middle of the park to shore it up.
Yeah, I think so. I think.
Oh, go on, McCallum. Oh, that's unlucky as well. Brilliant run by Biami there.
Yeah, really good run. Trying to
Yeah,
get in front of his
post.
defender. Yeah, I genuinely, I don't think Robbins will make a change now until
I
if
think
it stays
players
like this.
should get a run out though.
I agree. I think Alan will come on. I mean, the thing is, O'Hare, he's someone who he always leaves everything out on the pitch, doesn't he? I mean,
Yeah.
Costa,
Interesting to hear about DaCosta. I think Dabo does need game time.
I wouldn't take Dabo off.
You've
Not
got to
the
remember
way
he's
he's
come
going.
back from that injury and he still needs to be getting 90 minutes in for me. Especially with next week coming up, that perhaps you could see Robbins making it making some big changes next week. So
Yeah.
Great knock. Unlucky.
But Dabo is playing so well. That's the thing, and
Listen, I'm just looking at this table, and this is a massive 3 points if we get it. That'll take us 7 points clear. Brings another team into the mix.
yeah,
That'll be 9 teams vying for 3 places. I include us in with those 9 teams. But that's the more teams that are in that mix, the easier it becomes for us to sort of get our way out of it. And we've got enough fixtures in this month, especially the likes of
Stephen here,
Sheffield to get out.
Shipley off at 70. I
Yeah.
think you've mentioned that. It's not a bad shout, isn't it? Ryan Evans wants to see some
Hillsner,
Bapaga and
get in
Hillsner
there. Come
madness.
Come on, Marcel.
I want to
All
see
right,
why
Dave,
not.
Dave, here's a question to you then. What would the scoreline need to be for you to give permission for Hillsner to come out?
Oh, I mean, it'd be exactly the same here, but probably 85, something like that. I expect.
Oh no, I'm not saying give him.
I think all of our changes today. I think we need to use all of our subs today. I think
Yeah.
it's very important that when you're 2-0 up away from home,
We do have a week off though.
with 10 minutes to go. Regardless, I think that people need to feel like they're not just there to make up the numbers, and I'm sure they don't. And I'm sure we all know how important squad rotation was last season, and I'm sure Mark Robbins is saying exactly the same to the players this season. But I do think that it's important for people to get match time and get off the bench. He's done really well there,
So
and again,
good.
the Championship's most foul player, Callum O'Hare, being brought down once again.
Shipley
oh,
looks
Shipley,
like
yeah.
I might.
This might force a substitution. Oh no, my knickknacks have gone everywhere.
No. That's
Oh no, does that?
catastrophic.
It's
Doghouse tonight.
an
Get the
absolute.
Hoover up, mate.
Mate, I'm permanently in there. It doesn't make any difference.
You may as well just put your foot on him and crunch him in the carpet.
Exactly.
This doesn't look too good, chaps, does it? But I think,
Went down
I think
under no
he'll play
pressure.
on.
Cheers, Jeff. I think he'll play on. The old Jeff Shreves. Oh no,
Yeah.
sub. He's,
It is a sub.
the doctor has called
So
for a sub.
who's coming on then, Alan?
Yeah, I think so.
Number 17, Marcel Hilsner. No, Alan. I think it'll be Alan. Yeah.
I think you love Hilsner as much as I love Castanier.
I just want to think. Yeah. I just want to see him play, so we can actually judge him. I watched the Rangers game as well and the Swindon game, and clearly he's obviously had this issue and they didn't know about it. I just feel like
Ian wants it.
Twigless.
No. But Rob's right. I actually meant to bring this comment in, but but as important is obviously the debate on knickknacks and twiglets.
To be fair, I much prefer the rib ones other than the hot and spicy ones, but this is all they had. So
is that your second packet, or is you just?
That's my second packet. Yeah.
Is it? Yeah. I'm not shaming you on live on the internet. I'm just.
No, but to be fair, every time I've eaten knickknacks during a match, we've won. So
well, you know,
I'll be looking for that sponsorship deal by the end of the week.
Ryan
Giles is going on.
Yeah, so I suppose a lot of people have called for that, and Dean, I think you've said it in times gone by. You'd like to see him in that forward role. Well,
he played there in those 2 games in November, didn't he? And I thought he did really, really well. And then he reverted back to either on the bench or the wing back role. But
I agree with Glenn here. It is interesting sub, but I suppose it's fairly like for like, isn't it? Really.
But it's got its intent there, isn't there? There's intent to go and get another goal here.
Mm. Yeah, we know he can play in that forward position, and obviously we know he's left-footed, so he keeps that natural balance of the midfield that we've got today.
So they've just brought Sahore on, who had the positive test.
Let's see what Ryan Giles can do in that advanced position. A lot of people upset that he came out of the team, Ross.
Well, yeah, they were, and I mean the one thing that, like you said, it's a sub that shows continued intent in the game. Do you know what I mean? Like he's going to give Millwall more problems.
Yes.
He's got pace.
Yeah.
He likes to run directly at them.
Yeah.
So he's going to add
more. It's a really
more
positive substitution, isn't it?
It's a very exactly. You can't say any more than that. It's a very positive sub, I think, and I feel like because it will play into his game, knowing that he's got McCallum, he's got that sort of safety net behind him.
Yeah,
he can hopefully go and express himself a bit more going forward.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean he's pretty much sat on the halfway line here at the moment. Looks like there's bags of space for him to come and attack. So
I mean they're going to go more direct. Well, they've been pretty direct already, haven't they? But
you're right. Yeah, I agree. Like. I mean, they're just doing that, aren't they?
They've got that flat free up there now. And they'll just be looking for knockdowns and second balls and stuff like that.
Flick-ons, yeah, exactly. And we've just
very good point. Very good point. We're only allowed one more stoppage to make our sub, so we'd have to make a triple sub in the next one if we wanted to use all the players. Because Godden came off, so we've got one more stoppage.
Yeah, so maybe on 80, 85, it's probably going to be late in the game now. It's going to be more of a time ploy maybe than it is.
I think so. Well played.
Yeah, good defending again by Hamer, who's defensively been at times really good as well this season.
Oh, that's
great turn. Ben Sheaf with the turn. Everybody, Ben Sheaf with the turn away from danger.
I remember Ryan Haynes doing one of those against Luton in League Two, and then Vincenti scored.
What's Ryan Haynes up to now?
Newport, isn't he? Newport County.
Yes, he was on that FA Cup fixtures on TV, wasn't he? I can't. This might be going back a while, but there was a Newport County game shown BBC or something, and he was flying up and down the wing like he did in a Sky Blue shirt once. But they're not offering too much, are they, Millwall? You'd feel quite happy at the moment, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think we're so comfortable in this game. Probably the most comfortable we've looked all season, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
No, there's. Oh my God! How? What's just happened?
Shot. Well, I mean, it's incredibly unlucky, or almost bad goalkeeping, I suppose, as well. But
he can't have meant that. Surely not.
No, I mean it's a cross-turn shot, isn't it? But we've got a bit of pressure to soak up first here before we talk about that.
So their first shot.
Yeah, first shot on goal, on target, easy for Ben Wilson. Pretty lacklustre effort there. let's just talk about that build-up play though. Biamu bringing Giles in. It's just actually coming on to the replay.
Yeah, it is.
He brought Giles into play, didn't he? And
it's a cross,
crossed
but
it.
It's almost
It's
caught
dipped,
the
hasn't
keeper
it?
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the keeper's doing really well here, to be fair.
I think he's doing very well because
Has he tipped it onto the bar?
He
has. Keeper's done superbly well. That's a fantastic
it did move
start.
in the air. I thought he got himself in the wrong position, but it did move, didn't it?
And then obviously up the other end, they're on the edge of the box, and it's looking a bit hairy. And luckily, the shot was pretty much straight at Wilson.
I mean, if you're a Millwall fan watching this, you'd be screaming, wouldn't you, at the TV? Look how much time
Yeah,
the Sky
space
Blues have got in the middle of the park. Look at that. It's touch, turn, and pass at the best of times. It's just.
Oh, nice.
That's a great knock. First time. Yeah, lovely.
Biamu.
Wide. Wide again.
Oh,
It's unlucky. It's again probably the only part of the game that we've said is probably struggled with this season, and it is that final ball. Real shame to see that, but great build-up play, great passing, great triangles again. It's
Confidence,
been a
isn't it?
super performance from the Sky Blues today, hasn't it? You can't take that away from them, Ross.
No. It's been brilliant. You know, on the ball, the confidence there. They've believed in themselves, and off the ball as well. The pressing, it's been fantastic. So another 18 minutes plus stoppage time. They've just got to keep it going.
Yeah, we just need to keep it tight and keep the ball. It's become a little bit end to end, which we don't really need, do we?
I'm just again.
Is that he's gone down? But he's.
What's he give there?
I think he's given a penalty. He's given a penalty.
What?
He's given a penalty. That's absolutely insane. He's just going to show us again. He looked offside for a start.
Okay. I thought he might have got the ball, but it didn't look like it from that angle, if I'm honest.
Let's have a look.
Oh, it's clumsy. It's clumsy.
Yeah.
I think it's a penalty.
Yeah.
If he's onside, it's a penalty.
You just need to stand him up there. Another penalty given away for the Sky Blues. We'll just break off here while we watch, because Ben Wilson is 12 yards away from saving this one.
Oh, I'll tell you what, it's close getting a hand to that.
It's very close, yeah, it's very, very close. And it's 2-1. 15 minutes, like you say, plus probably 2 or 3 stoppage. Jed Wallace with the hopefully consolation goal. But
that's so frustrating, because they haven't been in the game, and that's a small
it's the only way
lapse
that they
of
was
conversation.
Get in the game, isn't it? That's
without a doubt.
Way.
Well, that'll give them a boost now. They'll get a second win from a goal.
Well, they can just launch the ball up, a knockdown, a scrappy thing, whatever. I mean, I think Hyam there I don't think he needs to make that challenge.
He doesn't need to, no.
He doesn't. He really doesn't. I think he's been superb so far this season. But I think at times we're just a little bit naive, aren't we?
Naive, yeah.
We've shown it again there that you just don't need to dive in, do you? Just stand him up.
I think he panicked. He panicked
nowhere.
Because he got caught, and that was a horsing over a shot. But this is a guy who scored, like, you can count on one hand how many goals this guy's scored in the last 18 months. And I think he panics, and he just doesn't need to make the challenge, you know.
What we need to do here is not panic now. Don't hide. Don't go into our shells and start playing, stupidly defensive.
Get the foot on the ball. It's just so frustrating, isn't it? It's so frustrating. But we just need to get our foot on the ball and take that pressure off, and just literally hold it up. What are you thinking about substitutions now, chaps?
No, just wait now, because let's just see how the game pans out for the next 5 minutes, and if it becomes a kind of Millwall getting the ascendancy, then potentially look at shoring things up.
What options have we got on the bench to shore things up?
Well, there's not a lot, is there? Let's have a look at the bench there. So you got Allen, Hilsner, Bakayoko, Thompson and Da Costa are your two sort of defensive options there, aren't they?
Yes, you're probably looking at Da Costa, but that would likely be a straight swap as well. But
on the attack again,
the Sky Blues.
Just That's unlucky as well. You know, just Dabo falling over his own feet there.
I think Glenn's saying about Matt Smith. I think they do still
have him, yeah.
The opportunity to still bring him on. They're finding more space than they've ever found actually all game now at the moment, and maybe people are just getting a bit leggy. McFad's seen there calling for a bit of calm. He's trying to get players settled, isn't he? He's trying to tell them to keep the ball and just calm down. They don't need to. It's
a silly foul, isn't it? Looking at it again, it's stupid, really. I want to see the main action camera. I want to see that potential offside. I don't think it's soft at all. No, he's made no play at the ball there.
To go down there, I think, you know, but we've seen it time.
He's got to take it out of the game, Dave, because he's going to go down.
Yeah, it's just. I don't think it's soft in the referee. I mean, I just think it's it's a soft challenge.
It's soft in regards to we shouldn't be giving those kind of opportunities of, free opportunities for the ref to blow his whistle effectively. But it's just, time and time again we put ourselves in this situation.
Pressure. Yeah.
For 70 minutes of this game, there has been no pressure, and
they've not had the ball, not had a sniff. Now we look like we've backed off. We're in behind.
Oh, the linesman does have his flag, ladies and gentlemen, so just to let you know, he does have it.
Yeah, and now they're finding space in behind. We said about this, look, there's two players there. McFad's seen on his own. We just need to shore it up a bit, don't we? Need to take the sting out of this game and just slow it down.
Don't invite pressure on ourselves, just keep the ball.
Get the ball and keep it. We've played those triangles all game, haven't we?
Yeah. Without a doubt, completely agree. Just hold on to it, and if we can ride the storm potentially for the next 3 to 5 minutes, let's just see how the game pans out before we even think of changing things around. Because for 72 minutes, our game plan has worked.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfectly, and we shouldn't let a goal.
We shouldn't.
Change that.
Know now,
oh yeah, it's football, isn't it?
Know that they're so nervous. They've come away from home, they've gone 2-0 up, they've played some lovely football, no pressure, and all of a sudden now,
and that's football, Dave, and that happens.
Of course, and it's
Forest
impossible for a team to not, it's impossible for a team to not, go into their shell a little bit when they do this. But I think, we just need to try and keep the ball, don't we?
Yeah, we need to stop giving the ball, giving it straight back to them,
But we already sat off.
There you go. Let them do that. That's fine. I'm happy. We're happy to see that all day long, aren't we?
Yeah, and we should be in no rush now to take this throw in. Oh, it's tense times. It's
never
typical,
easy. It's
typical Coventry City, isn't it? And I'm sure a lot of other fans about a lot of other teams say the same. But it always feels like, we're in complete control of like Dean said, for 70 minutes, Ross. Right. And now we've just invited this pressure onto ourselves.
We've been in complete control the entire game, literally.
Oh, stuff like that happens,
Yeah, that's just unlucky.
You got taken out there, McCallum. But I can't carry on here because three of their players are out of the game down the bottom of the pitch.
Yeah. Yeah, we've just got to put that goal behind us and keep attacking like we are now and keeping the ball. We still are finding.
Oh, great save!
Yeah,
Giles with a fantastic strike from outside the box.
Good effort. Yeah, that's good. We're calling people to shoot, and he connects with it well. It's a good strike, and that's a great save.
Great. Their keeper's had an absolute worldie.
He's had a good game, hasn't he? Really good game.
Oh, that's a good save.
It's a brilliant save. Top drawer keeping.
Would you bring Hilsner on now, Dave?
Not unless someone needs a drink.
He's not the water boy, Dave. Come on.
Well, I mean, I think the only player I can see coming on is Da Costa. Break off there, but it's all right. Keeper can't get it back quick enough, stumbling over the chairs there. But I think, you can't be making any snapshot decisions, but I think Da Costa would be the only one for me that would perhaps shore it up. I think we've got enough attacking threats on the pitch to not have to worry about that. But
I wonder whether he might take O'Hare off and bring on Allen.
Yeah. Middlesbrough have gone 3-1 up at Wickham.
My only thinking on that is that if he feels like the game's going to be hurried in the middle of the park, then Allen's legs will no doubt help that situation.
Yeah.
And would that be for what, O'Hare?
O'Hare, I think he's run himself into the ground, off the ball.
And you just drop Allen back, don't you? And you short the middle of the park and have 3 in there rather than the 2.
We need to get this out. We really need to get this out. That's offside, surely.
I hate this new offside rule, with the being in play and stuff. Because he's standing behind the guy clearing the ball there, and you're telling me he's not in play.
Well, the player has to
make an attempt.
Yeah, exactly. He has to be aware of it. But I mean, there's an argument that Glenn said here about Bakker for O'Hare. Would you try and hold it up further up at the pitch? I suppose it's a difficult one.
I don't know. I mean,
think you shore up that middle park.
I think if we go to 2 up top, I think that potentially plays into the hands. I've never been impressed at all when we've had Bakker and Biamu. Not once have I thought, hey, you know what, that's looked good. I've always just felt, I just think we lose something and gain absolutely nothing if we do that. This is where you want a Liam Kelly. Obviously he'd be starting, but this is where you want that sort of player.
Yeah, and just while we've got a break in the play here, it's just gone out for a throw-in. We are going to stay on air, actually, to take some of your questions, and do join us in the studio as well if you want to come on after. Won't be as long as normal, but we are going to stay on for at least 15-30 minutes, aren't we, Dean, to take all of your post-match thoughts on this fixture. Let's hope the Sky Blues can continue. And just to let you know as well that we've had plenty of podcasts come out during the festive period. Do go and check them out. Spotify, Google, Apple, they're all available on there. So go and give them a listen. Hopefully you've enjoyed the content that we've put out over the festive period. But just break off here, chaps. We've got the ball outnumbering them almost going forward.
Yeah, and Giles, this is his position, isn't it, in that attacking third, with players around him. He can do a lot with the ball. I mean, that's a free kick. He's coming in the back of him with a knee.
He hasn't given it.
Yeah, but where is the referee, Dave? He's halfway at the end of the pitch.
Yeah.
Honestly, the standard of officiating, it's not just Coventry games. I mean, I watch a lot of Championship football. Absolutely horrific this year. Yeah, probably worse than any I've ever seen.
It must be frustrating for those types of players like that, but we'll just break off here.
Oh, God. Don't foul. Don't commit stupid mistakes. That's brilliant from Hamer there.
It's really, really good. But we're letting people get in behind. We're letting people get in behind us.
It's concerning. We're
really looking switched off. We just need to shore it up. Why are we giving people chances to run in behind us? They've not been able to run in behind us for 75 minutes. We got caught out again there. Because you couldn't see it off screen, I was expecting someone to be following up and smashing that in. Luckily, as always, this game, it's been a Coventry City player that's been first to the ball.
But Nigel just asked about the possession over the last 10 minutes. Millwall was 61% possession over the last 10 minutes of the game. So it has slightly changed in their favour, but they still haven't done a lot with it, have they?
Go on.
Here we go. We've got a great chance here now. Come on, O'Hare. Oh, my God. The keeper's made an absolute world-class save. But he should have gone the other side. That is...
I think that epitomises a
Callum
O'Hare performance, doesn't it? He's worked so hard, tirelessly off the ball, links up play really well, but he's bearing down on. It's weak. It's weak, lads. That I'm afraid it's got to be
keeper
better.
with a big toe as well.
If he
he'll be frustrated at that. He'll be more than anyone. Will just be kicking himself at that.
If that's even half a foot off the ground, it's in. It goes above his foot.
Yeah, I think he should have gone across. He should have gone across, but absolutely. Their keeper's been phenomenal this game, hasn't he? But I think he's got to be scoring that.
Oh, he has to score. Look, he has to score that. The keeper is actually he's beaten and he's just lying there and
And that would have been it. Game over.
Yeah.
Now we've still got 5 more nervy minutes. You've got to take those opportunities in the Championship when they arise. We've given them to enough teams this season, haven't we? And they've taken them. You look at some of the games when we've done similar to that, and they've taken. Well, you look at Preston, right? That was exactly the same, wasn't it?
It's just, I mean, we've had two really, really good opportunities to see this game off, and we haven't done it.
That's a free kick.
And Smith's just been brought on as well.
Yeah.
Like, no, whatever happens from here, that's game over. Like you were saying, that's
Yeah,
it.
of course.
It's just.
But other teams put you to the sword, Ross.
They do. We don't let. Like, we've given Millwall a let off. Like, they are still in the game, and it should be over. And if that's us, if we're in Millwall's position, like you say, Preston, you can count Forest 1-1. We gave them a sniff, and they made us pay, and we don't do it, and it's a real shame.
Here's where I'd be, but that's where we'd see other teams making a foul, isn't it? In that position, like Dabo there, just a little stop-up play. We don't do that, do we?
The good thing is we're still forcing them into mistakes.
And long ball.
And with Smith on there, the long ball will be even more of a threat. Now, that's brilliant from Biamu. This is a guy who, puts his heart on the line every single game. And okay, he's probably not the most talented player we have at our disposal, but his heart, his passion is absolutely superb. And he leaves it all on the line for the Coventry City cause, and you can't fault that.
Ross, what have you made of his performances so far in the Championship?
Who,
because
Max Biamu?
obviously it took him some time, didn't it, to even get a chance. But when needs must, he more than stepped up to the plate.
I like you make a great point. He had to bide his time. I think the fans in a way sort of were calling for him to play more, and it was Robbins, for whatever reason, maybe felt. Is he up to it? And I felt like obviously Bakayoko was the man on the bench initially, but then he came in, and the level of performance went up. I actually can't really fault him. Obviously there was the goal he get. It was stemmed from his passing against Forest and a couple of other bits, and he's had a few quieter games. But you can't. I mean, this is a guy, like you say, playing in the Championship. This is a guy who in League Two, some of our fans, and at times it looked like he wasn't even League Two standard.
Yeah.
I just hope our complacency is not going to cost us here, because this game should have been dead and buried a long time ago.
At first half, it should have been 4-0. Yeah.
Yeah, but we're still looking to attack, aren't we? We can still see that there's more goals, perhaps, in this game. So,
and just to think. Yeah, sorry, on Biamu's performance, you can see his game's developed. You know what I mean? Like,
he's a lot more professional.
A lot more like the way, and I just think that's. I remember, I think he did an interview a couple of weeks ago. I think it was on the website, and he said how Mark Robbins has helped him so much. In terms of things off the ball, he does his positioning, his game management as well. As a striker,
but he's
defending.
He's not as. I never remember him being. Not wasteful, but he's definitely not wasteful now of the ball. He holds it up. He does. I think for a big striker up top, he does all of the things you want a striker up there to do. He holds it up. He's strong. He's obviously added that to his game, but he's not wasteful with it, and he hangs on to that ball until he has to. A lot of some other players, I think, sometimes can release it a bit too early and therefore give the ball away. But he's not wasteful with the ball.
No, he's not at all. And the one criticism I had of him earlier in the season, and I think that was just until his match sharpness, was his touch sometimes.
Yeah.
His first touch let him down, and sometimes it still does. I think if he was younger, if you swapped Bakayoko and his ages around, I think we'd be thinking, wow, we've got a really good player, for a few more, for quite a long time.
I think the age thing is now not on his side, is it? That's the problem.
But I mean, if he was 25, what Bakayoko's birthday in the week, wasn't it? And he turned 25. If Max Biamu was 25, we'd be thinking, hey, you know what? Because he could improve.
6 minutes. That's
incredible.
Five.
Yeah.
That is incredible. 5 minutes.
Don't do it. Don't foul.
Do not foul.
Just stand them up.
Listen, that just shows how poor this Millwall team is. In the attacking third, they've got so many options, and they Let's just boot it out for a goal kick.
Yeah, I mean that goal. This last 10 minutes has possibly saved. I mean, I'm not sure if it saved his job, but it's possibly given him a little bit. I don't know. You tell me, but
what's he doing?
Time wasting, isn't it?
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah. I mean, Wilson's got so many yellow cards this season for time wasting. It's absolutely.
We'll have to pay his fine if we sponsor him.
I tell you what, I'll be saying you have to sort that out.
Yeah.
It's
Come on.
So we're a minute.
4 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Come on.
A minute into stoppage time. 4 minutes to go. I think we just need to. I mean, they are. You know, Nigel has said that they are thankfully very wasteful.
Very, very wasteful.
And they have been. They've been very wasteful with the ball.
I feel in this second half.
It was Ostergaard.
Oh, okay. I feel in this second half we haven't really utilised those wings as much as we did in the first. And I don't know if that's because of the slight change in Millwall style. We're going free at the back.
Yeah, I mean,
but still, I feel like we can't. We've let them back into it where we just need to.
We have, but
bury
the
sword,
hasn't it? The game.
It has since the goal for sure.
It was a very game that was being won in the middle of the park.
You've
now
got to win those two headers.
Quite end to end,
like that.
Brilliant from McCallum, but yeah, you've got to win one of those two headers there at least. Oh, that's different.
Like that. That is the sort of well played.
Brilliant from O'Hare, and he draws a foul as well. What a numpty, that bloke. Number 3, absolute numpty.
See,
that's one of the worst tackles you think you've ever seen. Wallace, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, that is
done by youth there.
That's a really good part of O'Hare's game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Gets his body in the way and draws the foul.
He plays in a really selfless way. He puts his like that. That, for example, I mean, that could have won us the game potentially. That moment, him drawing that foul.
He's off. Red card.
Oh,
he's gone.
Yeah. That's it.
Second yellow.
That's it.
Wow.
This is a roller coaster, which is a sky blue ride.
And you know what? I don't want to get off.
Not at all.
Brilliant by
Biambi.
Go on.
See what Andy's
Go on.
saying.
Oh, come on.
We can't just. Honestly, it should be 6-1 this game. I'm not even joking. Biambi just
winning,
unbelievable.
And like Andy said, look, it isn't doom and gloom. It's just we're saying that we should have put this game to bed. We invite so much pressure on ourselves in the last 10 when we do this, but it's not doom and gloom. Sky Blues are 2-1 up, away from home, a corner with just a minute to go, and it all from here looks like we secured a great away win.
That red card, second yellow, that was all O'Hare, like we were just saying.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And Biamu again, here we go. We should be bringing on Trevor Benjamin. I remember going to a game at Highfield Road, and he tried to hold it in the corner in the 80th minute. I think he kept it in the corner for like 2 seconds or something. I just thought, what is he doing? But
this is it, and I think I'll bring the comments on in a bit. But Carl makes a good point there that they could really well be a relegation side.
Oh, without a doubt, if they're playing like this, they are firmly in the shit with the majority at the bottom. To be honest, this is brilliant from O'Hare.
You can't honestly.
93rd minute as well.
It's got to be exactly to do that run in there.
To have that energy, to get in front. Yeah, brilliant.
30 seconds to go.
Dying for the cause, wasn't it, as well? Oh, Jesus, Gus.
Oof, Christ.
Oh, come on, boys, come on.
The old Gus is back.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, his game has developed and he's matured, hasn't he, as the season's gone on. It's been brilliant to see. I mean, come on, win the header.
Just soak up this last bit of pressure.
Brilliant block.
Yeah, but
Ostergaard.
we're getting those knockdowns there. Again,
I'm not sure who's losing that header. Hyam gets beat.
Yeah.
Just got to see this out now. This is going to be the last chance of the game. Corner in. The ball sort of slipped out to the back. And that should be it. Great work. That's it. Should be full time. Oh, he's given a foul. All the balls either gone out or he's given a foul there by the... And that should be that, boys. We hope.
When that ball fell to that Zahor guy,
Yeah, it's gone out, hasn't it?
I need to get another gin and tonic. I've needed to go to the toilet for the last 40 minutes. I messaged Dave. I don't know whether to. I was so nervous.
Oh, it's just...
That should be it.
It's got to be it. It's
got
to
to
be
be.
it. A fantastic result. Sky Blues, you know,
By that whistle,
away
ref.
win.
Yes! Get in there.
And that's it.
Huge win.
It's a really, really good result, Dean.
Oh, I tell you what. I woke up this morning. I felt
Feeling
like...
fine. Got
yeah.
Coventry City on my mind.
I need one of those, what are they
Rattles.
called? Rattles, that's it, yeah.
Oh.
But I woke up and I felt confident on the basis that Millwall haven't trained for 2 weeks and we were due a result at some point. And not only is the result good today, but the performance as well, I thought was superb. Real tenacious, technically astute as well. Great shape, which I thought, one thing we haven't talked about, I thought our shape today was superb. But a fantastic 3 points, and that takes us into January now in the new year with a real confidence, real big global confidence.
I'm buzzing. I'm sure the Sky Blue fans are. It's never. Look at Robbins with Hamer there. He loves him.
Robbins just said to the keeper, it could have been 10 there, mate, unless you'd save
honestly, that is a huge win. Second away win. I agree with you, Dean. I felt good, and yeah, that's brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. What does that take us to 26 points? In my mind, if we can be at 30 by the time before February, then we'll be in a good position.
Yeah, February's going to be tough. There's no doubt about it. If we can get to February in a decent position, we've got some really, really big games coming up. Sheffield Wednesday are in there. Teams that we're vying at the
Forest,
bottom.
Birmingham. We've got there's opportunities. But if we play like that, we can give anybody a game.
Oh, without a shadow of doubt, and that brings Millwall into the fold as well. We've got 3 games in this month against teams vying for those relegation spots. So if we can get ourselves away a little bit, then the pressure's off going into that huge February, which looks, against all the teams at the top half. It's going to be a struggle, I'm sure.
Exactly. Dean, we've got a caller on. We've got Glenn.
Yep.
Should we bring him in straight away?
We can bring Glenn in. Let me just change the background somehow. There we go. Let's bring Glenn in. Glenn. There's Glenn. How are you, Glenn?
I'm alright, lads. We made hard work of that again.
We did, but you must be buzzing with that result, and not only the result, the performance as well.
Yeah, I think it was a big chance to kick on today. I think if we'd not won, it would have probably undone the hard work that we did when we were on the nice long beaten run.
Yeah.
And I think the results that we've got a bit of distance now, so it's not too bad. So.
And looking ahead then, Glenn, we've got Norwich on Saturday, a week today, in the FA Cup. Would you make wholesale changes for that?
Yeah, I think you've got to kind of not throw the game, but you've got to rest people. Sheffield Wednesday's a massive game with the run of form they've hit now. You've got to not get beat by them. So that's the point. So don't lose.
Are you more positive looking ahead though with our position in the table now?
Yeah, because I think we've pulled Millwall into it, haven't we? Which is a massive thing, and there's always one that tends to drop from a bit higher up down the league, isn't there?
There is, yeah.
Which I think that Hull did that last year, didn't they? Hull just absolutely imploded, and then there's a couple of other towards teams that are not too bad. So. But yeah, no, I think we probably deserve to win by a more convincing margin. We've just got to be a bit more clinical and not dive in on people on the box.
I was about to say that the only sort of negative for me and the lads there today was, not taking the chances that arose. That could have been a cricket score, couldn't it?
Oh yeah, the last one, the one towards the end from O'Hare, the keeper's it's harder to hit the keeper. He's hit the keeper's trailing leg. I don't know how he's. But yeah, the penalty, Hyam's got no need to go in on him. He's not going anywhere. So.
I mean, Dave said it was soft, but I don't feel it was soft at all. I think it was a stupid decision to dive in, giving the referee a decision to make, and he's got to, obviously always going to give the pen, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think Parrott's on the way down, but he doesn't need to touch it. I think Parrott knows he's going to get tackled, so he's almost kind of falling over. Which, to be fair, he's probably learned off Harry Kane, hasn't he? who's the best at getting decisions. But no, I think it was nice to get the monkey off the back. Like I say, they shouldn't have got beat off Preston.
No.
And then it's Rotherham. Rotherham have got games in hand on us, but you've got to win them. And I've always put points on the board, and then we just got to pick up a few wins in January. But losing Godwin's going to be a massive blow.
Yeah. That was that. I mean, I completely forgot about Matty Godden. I mean, that looks like it could be quite serious, and him and Walker both being out of the fold is does that give Sisu a decision to make in the transfer window? They've got to make some funds available, right?
Well, seemingly from what people are saying, they're after Dan Crowley, but he isn't really going to be what we need if we need a striker. But at least Dan Crowley, I don't know what's up with Shipley, but he'd give us an option to play in that role who's got a bit more attacking. So.
Obviously, you like Shipley, and I've had my concerns with Shipley this season, but I thought his performance today was pretty good. Are you of that same feeling?
Yeah, I think it's just after the role for Shipley that he does what he's good at, and I think that Alan Shipley's always going to be someone. If the ball's dropping at the edge of the box, he's got a chance of getting you a goal, which Alan sadly doesn't give you. And I think probably with Max up front with Shipley, it probably suits him because he's got someone. I mean, some of the games he's played when Max and Shipley and O'Hara played together last season were really good. I think Ipswich away in the FA Cup, they destroyed Ipswich with how well they played.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just we need probably a couple of bodies, but it's how we're going to get the money to get in if we can't apparently afford a second coach for players to travel to the game today, allegedly.
I've just seen that. That's absolute nonsense. That I mean, that shows sort of the sort of dire straits, and it won't just be us in that situation. There'll be a lot of teams in that situation. But that's just something we've got to deal with, right?
Yeah, it's like Derby haven't paid their players, have they? Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday are a mess that could go one of two ways. They could pull out of it, or there could be another Hull City and implode. So I just think it's getting people fit, and we don't want to go into the Sheffield Wednesday game worst case scenario with only Bakayoko as our fit striker by playing Max next Saturday and him getting injured. So it's give people an opportunity. There's plenty of fringe players we've got. Pilsner, Castaner if he's there, Bapaga, Giles will have to play because McCallum can't play. I'd even probably give Camp a run out in goal, De Costa. And you don't know, we might get a result because Norwich will probably do the same, and depends how we go. But no, it's good 3 points, and it's all the better when we win. And
absolutely,
it's stream today, lads.
No, as it starts the year off with a bang, and many happy returns for the year, Glenn, and best of luck, and thanks for coming on.
No, it's bye.
Cheers, Em. I'll get the lads back involved as well. We'll go through some of your comments in a second too.
Very interesting to find out man of the match, Dean, because there's a fair few contenders today, wasn't there?
There was, yeah. So get your man of the match nominations in, and we'll talk about those as well. There's some other key topics as well we should talk about. Obviously, thoughts on today's performance. We talked during the watch along, and we thought how well we played, but it'd be nice to hear your thoughts, Sky Blue Army. And then looking ahead, future Norwich in the Cup, what changes would you make? It seems to be one of those games that could we make a wholesale changes and go gung ho for the cup or not? It's one of those things. Who knows what's going to happen?
It's a difficult one, man of the match for me. It's very. I suppose when you're doing this as well, you got one. I suppose you got one eye, so you're trying to. I was trying to follow the game, but there was obviously for 20 minutes there was no real standout performances at all. The game really sort of passed everyone by, and then of course I think Shipley played well when he came on.
Yeah.
I think Dabo obviously he had an amazing first half. Hamer always seems to make things happen. It's very difficult to pick one today. I think. I
thought as a team performance though was pretty good. I thought we were solid the whole way, across the team. I thought standout performances for me was Shipley. Shipley played really, really well today, and we spoke before the match. It was a huge opportunity for him, and I think he grasped that. Hamer as well, just superb. Some of the touches, but I'm gonna go with Callum O'Hare for me. I just thought his tenacity, his willingness to be involved in all aspects of the play, his hurried approach. He put them under so much pressure in that game, and
which was epitomised by the red card, of course.
Yeah, and they made so many mistakes, unforced errors there from Millwall today, and that was down to the likes of O'Hare, Biamu, and Shipley, all putting in their effort at the top end of the pitch.
Yeah, and what about you, Ross? Any players that you think especially stood out? But I think today it was probably more the players that wouldn't fall in the category of man of the match is probably from some small mistakes. Hyam had a solid game, but obviously then giving away a penalty would take him out of it. But other than that, I found it very difficult. Who stood out for you?
I think I agree. I felt like for up until the penalty, really, everyone it'd been almost a perfect team performance. The only thing you could have said is really the scoreline didn't quite reflect the dominance of our performance. But to me, I think Sheaf and Hamer were both very, very good.
Yeah,
I find it hard to sort of. I feel like if we take. And then but then I look at Biamu and I thought, as someone who came on for Godden, I thought he was really
good job up top. He held it up when he needed to. He brought other players in. His link up play today was really, really good, wasn't it?
I think there was a lot of contenders. I'd want to go with Hamer again in a way because I just think
he makes everything happen.
He almost just ties everything together. Yeah. I thought that Ben Sheep had a great game as well.
Defensively, I think Ben Sheaf had a really good game today, actually. Yeah. I think he always seemed to be in the right place at the right time. We saw him nick it a couple of times, of course. But then as well, going forward, very confident. He's a player that does give the ball... he gets it away quickly. If he doesn't hold on to it overly too much. He plays sideways a lot. But, you need that holding player in the middle of the park. And with Kelly out, improved performances like that are very much welcomed.
I don't think he made too many mistakes today as well. I only think it was just a misplaced pass early in that first half, but it came to nothing anyway. I think overall though, I thought he was absolutely superb. Pretty like the majority of the team. The only sort of minus mark I would say was Hyam's silly defending for the penalty. That was for me. That's the only negative on a very, very positive day for the Sky Blues.
Yeah, and that's it, isn't it? That's what we've got to. That's what we've got to really talk about. What a positive display of pressure. Okay, the only negative probably is that we didn't take our chances when we should have, perhaps. But the positives are pressure, 2 goals, which have come, taken a bit of time to come, unfortunately, this season. And although a worry with Godden out, I think Max had a really good game, and perhaps if he knows he's going to get a run in the team now, Ross, it might help him push on.
Well, that was the best I've seen him play as like the single striker.
Yeah,
I've always thought Biamu's been really good when he's been up with Tyler Walker or Matty Godden. And we've got to go back. What minute was it that Godden got injured? Because I remember we both...
Early, wasn't it? 18 minutes, something like that?
Really early on.
All three of us, I feel like there was that sort of collective sort of sigh and feeling of, almost, you're feeling optimistic. Godden, he should be getting sharper and fitter, and then suddenly he goes off. But I thought the team just responded. It didn't let it affect them at all. We controlled the game. We were all over them, and you're so right what you say. We made them be sloppy in possession. In other games, I feel like we've sat off teams, and if you haven't got any pressure on you, it's a lot harder to give the ball away. And I felt like we just, from start to finish, really, and of course, there's that moment where you get a bit nervous, a bit scared. You know what I mean? When it's 2-1, it's always. But once the game finishes, it's easier to look back and go, they didn't threaten and take away that silly challenge for the penalty. Wilson didn't really have a save to make, did he? I don't think.
Not at all. And that's the thing, isn't it? I suppose one thing that fans have been saying, and we've seen the comments, a couple coming through there about taking chances. It's very, very important, isn't it, for us to start taking these chances, because we're not always going to be 2-0 up, of course. And today, if you look at that one that was played across back and we were through on goal with O'Hare, it's a gimme, isn't it? And we need to take them.
Yeah, and there's a lot of chances there today that we should have taken. There's no doubt about that. And if we had, this game could have been 4 or 5-0 by half time. And the penalty wouldn't have mattered 1 iota. But that's just, for me, that's just sloppiness with that penalty. And that, for me, that's the only dampener on a fantastic day for the Sky Blues.
But if they all go in, we're talking about a 4 or 5, 5-1 drubbing,
it's a different. It's a different attitude completely. Exactly. But I mean, I think this gives us such a pedestal now to move on in January. Against some big. We've got some big games, but halfway through the season, would we have taken a 7-point clear of relegation? I'd have absolutely bit your hand off for that.
Exactly, and I think that goes back to my point earlier, is that it's as much as we love it, fans, we all admit it, but we are fickle at times, and you have the benefit of seeing the performances, of course, and we've seen the performances, and at times I think we know that this Sky Blues team can make a really good account of themselves, and I actually think that Nige touched on it earlier, a couple of players and we'd be a really solid championship team. So I think the fans feel that at times when we sometimes let ourselves down a little bit. But if you had to look, without hindsight and without seeing those games, if you had to say at the start of the season, Dean, when we sat on that fixtures video and we looked through them and it just got grimmer page by page, and we said the only points that we're going to have were the games in that run, was it, trying to think back now, and the flip fixtures in March.
Yeah. So we said November, December, that early period in that time was going to be the important time to get points, and we did that to an extent.
But since then, we picked up points away at Norwich, which you'd never give them a hope of how, really, would you, at the start of the season, and in that game possibly could have even had all 3.
Yeah. So it was so crucial now. Points on the board. I mean, I know teams have got games in hand, but I would much rather have the points in hand,
of course,
rather than the games in hand, because there's no guarantee obviously. But I don't think we can underestimate how crucial now the Norwich game is a throwaway in the cup. Forget about that. But the games after that are absolutely crucial, and if we can come out of those 4 games with 6-7 points, vital, massive.
Look,
Ross wants 30, and that would be
30 by end of January. I'm happy with us. Look, we lost to Preston. It was disappointing. We were the better team, but if we win and lose, that's better than just 2 draws. 2-0. I'd rather us lose a game if we then win the next one, rather than 2 0-0 draws, because it's about, we're on I'm looking at the table now, 26 points. I really think if we can at least be on 30, because I think 40 to 42 is going to be enough to stay up.
Yeah,
it will be this year.
So I think if we get to 30, 31 by the end of January, then you can go, 4 wins from the remaining 17 games, and we stay up. And I think that looks so doable. And it would just be interesting. Obviously, we'll wait to hear, I guess, from Mark Robbins about the Godden injury, the length of that. I mean, the question I wanted to ask you guys was, do you think it will happen? Do you see Josh Eccles potentially being recalled as an option in midfield? Or
I had question marks why he went in the first place, if I'm honest. I don't think it was the right decision to get rid of him. I would like to see him back. I think he's performed really well for Gillingham. But whether he will or not, I doubt it now. No.
And I'm very much in the other camp. I mean, I just think it's beyond madness. I'm not saying we're absolutely, I'm not saying we're inundated with midfielders, of course we're not, but it's a player that's gone out. He's obviously enjoying his football. He needs to learn his trade, and he's just going to come back and be a bit part player in that middle park, and he's not going to play. Let's be honest, it's going to be very far and few between.
It'll be a last resort if he was.
It'd be very far and few between, and it's just he's now learned his trade. He's getting those minutes. He's playing 90 minutes and. Gillingham, from what I've seen on stats websites, whoscored.com and the likes, he's always picking up 6.5, 7s, 7.3s. So he's obviously playing well for Gillingham, and I've not had an opportunity to watch those performances. But I think at the same time, bringing someone back, I think it would be very premature, and I think that I think this will put him in really good stead. But he's definitely a player for the future. But to say the same would be Bapaga probably needs some more game time for me. Well, and Norwich is a perfect start.
Perfect, Dave. Perfect. Honestly, if we're talking of,
because if we're not going to send him out on loan, then I think a player like that will not suffer. But I just think that he needs some game time. Because
give them a chance to express himself. I'm talking, give Lee Camp a game.
Da Costa.
Da Costa right back. I'm thinking. I mean, I don't know how close or if Rose would be fit to even get some minutes in the bank then.
You got Pask as well.
Pask, maybe Jordan Thompson, and then you got Giles, and then Allen. I think I'd like to see Hilsner. Honestly, I would just change the team, or get especially players like Da Costa, and Bapaga. I agree. I think giving them as many minutes as possible. It's the only opportunity we're going to get, really, this season.
It'd be interesting to know if any of our Sky Blues Extra followers know for certain, 100%, is it possible for Sam McCallum to be recalled back in this window? I'm not entirely sure. I was pretty sure it was a season-long loan. I was almost adamant, but I suppose they could still be broke.
Well,
the
way I read it was it's a season-long loan, and the only option they've got to recall him is in January. So that's the point where they could recall him. I fully expected them to recall him. Now, of course, there's still the rest of the month. It probably would be the most typical thing to happen, that it would happen on deadline day or something. But that Quintilla, their other left back, is fit again. So whether that has an effect on whether they'd recall him, because I was almost certain that they'll recall him if they didn't have anyone else. That would obviously be a massive blow. I mean, we're going to need...
At the start of the season, some of their fans were saying it was a bit odd to actually even allow him to go out, because they were a little bit short in that position, if the truth be told. So I think a lot of the Norwich fans were quite surprised. But I suppose Norwich, knowing that, with the loan, he'll get the Championship minutes and will play every game, I suppose.
He won't go back. There's no doubt that he won't go back. They've got Quintilla back. It'll be fine, and we'll keep him for the rest of the season. But what about Mason? Mason's available still he can be recalled.
Yeah.
So he's playing well with St Mirren.
I wasn't surprised to see Mason go. I think that but if needs must, if McCallum goes, if he's recalled, then you'd have to say it's a like for like, and that has to happen, because Mason's a solid left back, and let's be honest, going into the market, a left back isn't what we need. But we're
going to need two though, aren't we? We're going to need two left backs in the summer. So you'd like to think that with our recruitment, because I don't see Mason how he's going to play. Giles has signed a new 5-year deal with Wolves. McCallum won't be here next season. Chris Badland and that are going to be looking at left backs. I think a left back, we'll know who we want at left back next season, and in the worst case scenario, maybe you go and try and get them before the summer. Now, I think we're going to need two left backs. I think Mason's done. I think he's finished.
Yeah, he won't play again.
Giles will go back. I thought we might sign him. Now maybe Wolves have just tied him down for him to get money.
But it's very, very likely that the length of that deal suggests that he's got a future at Wolverhampton, doesn't it?
But also because they need a certain number of homegrown players in their squad. Yeah. Whether he feels one of them. So I will know who we want at left back, I think, in the summer, and it's whether could you go and try and get them now if needs be. Obviously, I hope Dino's right and McCallum stays, and then we don't need to worry about it until the summer.
No, it's a good point. Didn't really think about it and for the longevity, but January January is almost a crisis transfer window where people come at a premium at the best of times, and for me, I'm not sure that the club will be, it doesn't feel to me like a position that at this moment in time they need to bolster. But you're quite right. In the summer, 100%.
I mean, the thing with January is the free transfers available are the likes of Stephen Hunt and Darius Henderson. Remember that season? So, I agree. It is a bit of a crisis one. It's not the best.
We don't want to go back there.
Oh dear.
I think if they were going to recall, we would have heard something by now. It's a good point, isn't it?
There was a few reports of it. Coventry Telegraph obviously were involved in some of those, but there's nothing concrete to say he was going to go back, and I think Norwich have got bodies now, so I can't see that happening.
Brighton are loaning fringe players out, so maybe we can get attacker from them. Scott here said, if Norwich go up, would McCallum become surplus? I think he's definitely one for Norwich's future, isn't he? And I can only ever see him thinking that he's going to be loaned out to help his pedigree rather than to be actually got. I mean, they paid a bit for him, didn't they? And obviously tied him up on a fair deal. And
he was signed when they were a Premiership team, and they still had the chance to stay in the Premier League. So they would have had ambitions of him playing in the Premier League. So I suspect
and I think what he's
he'll be in the
demonstrated
fold.
so far in the Championship would have more than told them that he's well than worthy of keeping on at that level.
I mean, I'll be honest. When we re-signed McCallum back, I did scratch my head a little bit because I was convinced that Mason, he's second choice now, and so I always remember thinking, oh really?
I think Brandon Mason scratched his head as well. To be honest,
probably, but he probably would have. I think McCallum has actually. I think he has been quality. I think he.
Yeah.
I completely agree. I think he showed his ability, and I think Giles today. I thought he looked lively when he came on in that attacking role. I think he obviously had that cross-come shot, which almost went in, and he looked lively. And I think that's because remember we played 4-3-3 against Cardiff, and we've not gone back to that at all, have we? We went back to a back four in that 1-0 win against Cardiff.
Yeah.
And we've not gone back to that. So there are a few different options depending on who we bring in. I mean, maybe if we did sign another winger, we were linked with that guy from Tottenham, weren't we, on loan? In the Telegraph.
But I think you've got to look at the top end of the pitch. If someone goes out this transfer window, and we don't know if they will on loan, be it loan or sold, but there's been talk, isn't there? And a lot of Sky Blues fans have said that they feel that Bakayoko may go out. I can't see it really from a sort of risk reward wage. He's not probably going to be the highest earner at the club, and therefore probably isn't a massive burden on monthly wage bills at the club, I would imagine. I don't know. So you would think that for a numbers point of view, Bakayoko will probably stay. But with injuries to Godden that seem to be, reoccurring, it's going to be playing on Mark Robbins's mind, and with Walker as well, who's been injured. You just don't know whether that's going to flare up again in the future. Again, you just don't know. But he's at this moment in time, he'll be thinking, if this happens again, I'm looking at finishing the season with just Biamu, who he started the season, let's be honest, as a fringe player, and the same with Bakayoko, two fringe players leading the line in a one up top. I think he would really be concerned. So do you think a striker would be something that he's looking at in the market?
It will be, but he'd have to get bodies out before people can come in, because from what we know and what we've been told, there's a severe lack of funds at the club, and it won't just be us in that position. There'll be plenty of teams. So before that happens, people will need to leave. I think that's what we need to be discussing really, on who goes out before people come in.
Well, I guess that's
to
the
me
thing
on a numbers game. It's a worry though.
Well,
you start letting people go and might not be able to field a team.
Well, it just depends on. I mean, obviously, there's a couple of players like Castaner. If anyone would take him, I think he's obviously surplus. He can go. I think there's reports that Hildner could go out on loan. I think it was a couple of months ago.
I think that would be a sensible loan.
Yeah, but I think Bakayoko could go if there was someone, the right person to come in, because this is the time that you could actually get a fee for him. Now that is thrown into a large portion of doubt now with Godden's injury today. If Godden's out for a while, then I'd probably retract that and say, actually, I don't think he would go. But that's just the concern. It's the recurring nature of this injury for Godden is a bit of a concern. And it's just the scoring. Yeah, obviously today we scored 2 goals. We had a load of chances. But it'd be interesting to know what he says, because I do think we could do with another attacking player in that O'Hare mould and maybe another striker if Godden's going to be out for a while.
Yeah, well, it certainly is a position that we, probably need some support in. We'll see what Mark Robins done. He done some fantastic business, of course, in the summer, and let's hope that he can wield that magic. Well, him and Chris Baddle, of course. Let's make sure that we give Chris credit where it's due, because we know Mark Robins gives him a list of what he wants, and Chris goes out and get it. So let's hope Chris has been doing his homework in the most recent months, and January is something. And we thank everyone obviously for coming on to the Sky Blues Extra first watch along. Not sure how many we'll do in the future. It was more because of the no commentary there from CWR on iFollow, so we thought we would give fans something to listen to during the game. But we hope you enjoyed it, and do let us know in your comments, in the feedback. Do add some comments, and if you're not already a subscriber on our channels, then make sure you are, because it really does help from it's sort of getting people to share and comment. It will help us grow the Sky Blues Extra community, and also help us produce content for you that are already on it. But from all of us here at Sky Blues Extra, we appreciate you coming on, and what a fantastic result, lads, for the Sky Blues. 3 points away from home at the Den, and although there's been some fixtures, not always been a happy hunting ground, but a great 3 points, great performance, and we take that now into the next league game.
Play up Sky Blues.
Play up Sky Blues.